this is the circle where real talk flows. 4 different voices, 1 platform holds. Conversations flowing, stories we share. A space built on love, respect and care. Here in the circle, we listen, we learn. Here in the circle, we speak, we connect. Here in the circle, we unlearn, we learn. Welcome to This is the Circle. Let's go.
Hey guys, are we live?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hi, ladies. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah? Yes, we can hear you.
Fantastic.
Yay.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
How's our chat fam? Who's in the chat? Wow, guys, you've surprised me. There's so many people in the chat already.
Amazing.
I know,
Early gang.
Well, thank you for coming early, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Can I just ask what is in everybody's cup? What are you having, Cece, Honey Babe, Auntie Yinkas? What are you guys having?
At the moment, I'm having an English breakfast tea. That's what I normally have. I keep it very simple, very straight. And that's normally my go-to whenever I want to de-stress or relax. I have an English breakfast tea.
Okay, Cece?
Let me keep the tea theme. I'm having Earl Grey. Who is an Earl Grey lover? Drop it in the chat if you know, if you know, and if you love an Earl Grey. That's what I'm having so far. Auntie Yinkas, what are you having?
And I was going to get a cup of coffee, but I changed my mind and decided to stick with water. Let me see how much I can get in, right?
Okay.
I'm having water as well, keeping it very simple. Oh my God, can I just say everyone is so boring? Where's the wine? Where's the Dom Pedro?
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben didn't send us.
Uncle Ben didn't send us, so he didn't.
I know. Very disappointing. I thought he would.
No, I don't.
Uncle Ben, you owe us. We're waiting.
Who's got wine? I think Misty. Misty's got her wine already. Misty, I trust you, my sister.
Trust me, you don't want any of these sisters with wine in their glass, though. With this life.
Everyone is just here doing fit fam. Anyway, thank you everybody in the chat for joining us. Thank you to all of our early gang, Grill fam. I think there's some M5 fam here as well. Thank you everybody. So happy to have you guys here supporting us on our very first show, the Sister Circle. Cece, can you please do us the honors and invite, and say welcome to certain people in the chat.
Okay. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here super early. We were worried. We were like, oh God, who's going to be here? I think that I can see how many people are here already. 29 watching, guys. You guys are too much. Thank you so much. Please hit the like, and share. There's a lot of great conversation going to take place this evening or this morning, afternoon, wherever you are. So let me say hi to our early gang. AJ, thank you, bro. Welcome. Who was here? We have Comfort, Adagri, Sis, always in the chat. Obviously, we've got our Honey Babe from all her accounts, the Rebuild Blueprint. We'll discuss that later. We have my girl, Abby. Hello. And Happy D Crown. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Who else is there? We have our Yinkis as well from her channel. The Chucky, sir. We said drop super chats. Big spenders. We need big spenders on the show today. Uncle Ben, thank you. Who else can I see? Adana, thank you, sis. She's here. We have Ashlyn. Thank you, Ashlyn. Biba, welcome, sis. Zainab, wow, Zainab. I don't think I've seen Zainab for a while. Zainab, you've not been here for a while. Thank you for showing up today, sis. Welcome back. I think that's everybody, right? Zeno, How can I miss Zeno? Hey Zeno, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. We have Marriott as well. Misty, Sisterly, backstage VIP people. Is that Idara? I've not seen this name
Yeah.
before. Hey
Yes,
Idara.
I hear it sometimes. Auntie Grace, Uncle Mecca.
Okay, perfect. And Sue, thanks Sue. And Auntie Grace. Wow. She logged in for us. We're just waiting for Zaddy. Where's Zaddy?
Zaddy
He's
is
here.
there.
He's here.
He's there?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Zaddy and Specialina. Wow, I've not seen this name before.
Yes, you have.
Hey,
Specialina is
Uncle Beno dropped 20.
Have I?
Specialina
Uncle
is
Ben.
she thinker. That's Specialina.
She think, are you doing alias?
Titi, please thank Uncle
Oh,
Ben.
okay.
He just dropped some money for us, please.
Yes, sir.
Pop my money gun, pop my money gun, pop my money gun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Ben.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Yubi.
so much.
Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
everybody.
Auntie
Thanks.
Oyin as well. Thank you very much for coming, Auntie Oyin.
Thank you, my namesake. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, my twin.
Okay, Honey Babe, can you just tell us what today's topic is about before we get into the show and play some material?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So tonight we're exploring the weight of strength and basically what it means to be strong as Black women.
Okay. All right, are we ready?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah,
when you
sure.
are.
I'm ready. Roll it.
Okay, cool.
Advice you would give to a man that's dating a hyper independent woman? For me, leave her. Like, think about it in reverse, ladies. If you had a hyper dependent man, would that turn you on? Probably not as a woman, because you're looking for a leader and all those things. Well, as a man, I'm not looking for a hyper independent woman. I need to feel needed. I'm sorry. So if you don't need me, you got to leave me.
I hear you, SD, saying leave, and that's cool. That's you. I respect that. But there are some men who are willing to say, you know what? I see past that. I see past that hard shell and that hard exterior. If you don't have the capacity, go on about your business. But if you do have the capacity, the one thing that we lack in this narcissistic, selfish society is grace. It is lacking. You ain't perfect neither.
Yeah.
And if we really want to talk about it, y'all talk about hyper independence in a woman, but what about dependence in a man who's been enabled by his mama for so long, and we give compassion and we stay there? That's why I don't like this side of the conversation, because what we do as women is give a lot more grace to men than what we get, when a lot of time the burden is placed on us. We are constantly navigating spaces. We constantly hear what society tells us that we have to do. We constantly have to deal with our siblings and our children and our parents, because a lot of times when our parents and stuff get sick, it's not the boys that they go to, it's the girls that they go to. And so we have all of this weight and all of this burden that we carry on us, and we constantly have to be reinforced with these beliefs that we have to be strong and we have to take care of everything. So yes, for a moment, y'all can show up and at least see past that exterior, and at least try to see beyond what y'all see outside, to look and say, dang, okay, I do want to love her beyond how I just see this in this moment.
That is crazy. Okay.
Unpack it for us, Abby. What are you thinking? Do you agree?
1 second. Just wanting to say thank you to our super chatters, that Chucky. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you
so much, bro.
Chucky.
Thank you so much. I think I've kind of already lost Uncle Ben's, so I can't show you, but we saw Uncle Ben also give us $20. Thank you very much. And Zeno as well. Zeno also gave us some money. Thank you very
Zeno.
much, Zeno, my bestie. But yeah, Sissy, you said I should unpack. Listen, I think the part that really spoke to me was the grace. And I've also experienced this, and I'm sure a lot of women have experienced this, where we would extend so much grace to men and they can never do the same. Men can never.
Guys, hold on.
What? Hold
Zaddy.
on.
Energy. Energy.
Thank you.
Zaddy.
Oh my God.
$99.99.
Thank
Zaddy,
you
you're
so
too
much,
much.
Zaddy.
God bless you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Uncle Ben, you need to have us back on here. We're money makers.
We're money magnets.
We're money makers. We're money makers. God bless you, Zaddy. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
sir.
much.
We don't have to
I'm in
pray
shock.
for you.
Obviously, I've not said anything.
I'll be speechless.
We don't call him Zaddy for no reason. Zaddy, come
Thank
on.
you so much.
Retired but not tired. I know that's right.
No,
Thank you
that's
so
right.
much, Zaddy. Thank you. We really appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Oh my
God bless you,
God.
sir. God bless you, sir.
Wow.
Much
Wow, wow,
appreciated.
wow.
Uncle Ben, please make sure you send it to our account. We'll send it after the show.
Well calculated.
Don't be like African parents. They'll say, I'll keep the money for you. You'll never see that money. You'll never see that
That
money.
is so true. That
Real
is so
fam.
true.
Please. Anyway, sorry, Abby. Continue. Thank you, Zaddy. God
Thank
bless
you so
you.
much. Thank you, Zaddy. Love you. Thank you. Okay, so that's the one thing that stood out to me when I was listening to her, the grace. Men will never give us half as much grace as women give to them. It's actually
Absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what stood out to me. And of course, with hyper independence, the only reason why a lot of women are besides obviously trauma and all of that, is if you meet the right person that leads right, that makes you relax, that makes you feel safe, there's no reason for you to really be hyper independent. But they also have to bring that energy that allows you relax. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
Okay, so Abby, before we kind of go into that, I think that's probably a little bit more down the line. Let's
Yeah.
take it back all the way back to the beginning. As the little girls that we've all been, where do we think that stems from? This need, to me personally, I think it stems from as soon as a girl child is born, especially a Black girl is born, there's this adultification of Black girls, just generally, especially in African communities.
Yep.
Where we are expected to, we're perceived, even though we're children, we're treated as older, you're meant to be more mature. And if you're, God forbid, you're the oldest child, which I'm also the oldest girl child. My God, the weight on your shoulders already, you're meant to be more responsible than your siblings. You just immediately step into that. I mean, we joke here, oh, Abby, small madam, but that's just a joke as how people see small girls in African communities already. From time you're little, oh, you're a little madam, you're a little madam. They start putting these labels on Black girls to begin with. So for me, I think that starts as the root of where a lot of this hyper independence these issues stem from, and then it turns into hyper independence because you've been labeled and kind of burdened with that from a very young age. And a lot of the time we are disciplined more harshly because you're expected to be the one who's more mature than your siblings. If you're an older sibling like I did, I was kind of doing a lot of the caregiving for my siblings who are like 5 and 6 years younger than myself. I'm also developed to really, puberty hit me like when I was in age 9. So I already had like boobies. I was already having my period. So there's already that sexualization from a very young age, so people already look at you like, and if God forbid, if you have curves, you've got like a body at 9, 10, 12, they already assume that you're an adult, so you're expected to carry certain responsibilities. Or even when you're just a young girl and maybe you've got a bit of a body, or they perceive you to be, oh, you're too grown, you're acting too grown. Or I don't know if you're like, this is a common thing, like, when you're a girl, you're playing with the boys. I had like younger siblings. I love to play rough. You'll be playing rough, running in your skirt. Your parents will just slap your leg like, oh, close your leg. You shouldn't be having your leg open. You should, sit a certain way. You're a girl. You shouldn't be you just want to be carefree as a kid. So a lot of that, I think if we start unpacking that, I feel like that is where a lot of this stems from. The kind of burden and the responsibility that's lumped on Black girls, literally from when we're born. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I'll let everyone else go, or should I go and share like a little thing about how I've gotten to this point as well?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can step
Mhm.
sis. Go ahead.
Me particularly, I left home really young, and I know that I still do go through a lot of phases of somewhat feeling abandoned in a sense, because I feel like I went through leaving home at just about 14. I wasn't even
Oh
14
wow.
yet when I left home, because I left home the summer off and my birthday is in Feb. And then I was basically in the UK by myself, went to boarding school. And of course, it was very different because going to boarding school for the first time, leaving Nigeria to the UK, I didn't fit in. My accent was very different. I got obviously picked on a lot because of my accent. You know, that whole nonsense, ridiculous
Yeah.
thing that
Freshie. It
Mhm.
was a
Mhm.
freshie.
freshy. So that did not help. I kid you not, I know it doesn't make sense because I come across as really confident, but it took me a very long time to make friends. I feel like I went through like at least 5 years. I think I probably started making proper friends at uni
Oh
because I
wow.
just did not fit in. So
Mm.
it took me a good 5 years to get to that point where I could have friends. And I even noticed that that would show up as well in relationships where I had to grow up fast because I didn't have all of that help. I would see
Mm.
my parents here and there. And unfortunately, at the time as well was when my mom's career was really picking up as well. My mom was a lawyer, was really picking up as well. So my mom went from, I remember the first year she would see me like maybe 4 times a year to like twice a year, except when I
Oh
would go back
wow.
home for like Christmas and stuff. And then it was just like the rest of my aunties and stuff. So I think that has affected me in a different way. Besides being the first child, I'm the first daughter. So naturally, that comes with the honors of just being a born leader. You don't have a choice but to be a leader.
At all,
And
yeah.
then that whole thing of me having to, in a sense, as a young teenager, having to bring myself up and be independent. And I saw it show up in my relationship. I remember my first relationship and having to adjust and realize that, you know what, you don't have to come across as wanting to do everything by yourself and not needing help and not be able to ask for help. And in a way, it kind of still, shows up in so many ways to date. I've had that conversation with my parents, and of course, generally with parents, they don't mean bad. As far as they're concerned, they're doing what they feel is best for you. It's time
Yeah.
to go pursue. The
Mhm.
only reason I came that early is because I also started secondary school at 8, so I'm ahead of
Ah,
years in that sense.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's because I had already finished secondary school, so
Mhm.
that's the reason I came really early. It was time for me to go to college and then uni, and this normal system.
Mhm.
So yeah, that kind of, and I think I even mentioned to you, sisters, as well, that even while we were putting the show together, I remember that as well, and remember that I got to this point where sometimes the walls that I have is because there was a period where I only had myself, or at least that's how
yeah.
I felt. That's my parents' perspective. They just felt like, you know what, we were there for you, but I don't think people understand that just talking about the phone is not always enough. I
Yeah.
wanted to have the same thing, my same setup that my siblings had where they were at home for way longer, if that makes sense. By the time my brother came here, I was already at uni and he had me, but I didn't have anybody. So
Yeah.
just wanted to
Yeah.
share.
Yeah. Sister Yankas,
Yes,
what's your
yes.
take?
Yeah, so I quite agree with with the ladies as well. See, I'm also the first of five. So the firstborn thing, and then being a girl, all that came into play with that, having to be responsible for my younger siblings. I remember times where my mom would travel because my mom was into fabric business and she was making ashoke. That's the traditional woven ashoke. So she would travel down to what's that, Isane or something, to get some of this fabrics. And of course, while she traveled, there were times where we had a maid at the house, and then there were times where we wouldn't have the maid at the house. So in those times, she would actually make lunch, and I'll be responsible to make sure that my siblings, when they got back from school, they ate and all that. And my immediate younger sister, I'm only 2 years older than her. So me now being responsible for myself and the three of us, because then my brother wasn't born at the time. So it was, I mean, even up till now, I can still remember some of the times I felt like, the responsibility of being adulting too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that's what I would call it. So adulting too quickly, having all this responsibility, and I was actually very, very. I recognized that quite early, before I even got married, and it was something for me. Like if I were to have a firstborn girl, I would ensure that she didn't feel like that, because there's still times I still remember those times, and I feel like a lot of things were taken away from me. Like I didn't enjoy
Your
being a
childhood.
child. You know, I didn't really, I feel like that sometimes, but I'm like, you know, I won't let that hold me back. I guess it's just part of life. But just recognizing that the label that's on a female, you know, once you're born, you're a female and then you're the firstborn, that's like
Responsibility.
double. That's double right there, you know. So, but
Honey babe.
mhm.
I think for me, definitely I can relate. Even though I was not brought up in Nigeria, it was still, I always noticed that I'm the eldest, obviously the first child, obviously a girl. Then my brother was the middle, and then my sister was the last one. I always remember that my mum always gave my brother a pass compared to me. I remember times my brother used to do the most silly things and she'll just give him a pass. But when it came to me, oh, I'm the eldest, you should know better. And I felt that, but mum, if my brother does it, you give him a pass. But I think there's this natural thing from birth where they kind of put on this label that we have to be strong and don't realize that. And I'm kind of realizing that we weren't even given a choice to be you had to be strong. And
Yeah.
for me it was very, that I just realized that's how it is. We're constantly given this idea that we have to be strong in everything. Now, definitely it impacted me because definitely in a lot of my relationships, and maybe in part, if I really want to take accountability, even in my marriage, I was over hyper independence. And especially from the point of is that he came from Nigeria, and obviously I had my house, I was contracting and everything. And I think because you get into this kind of mindset where you're so used to, obviously you go to school, you do your job, you buy your house, you're doing your thing and everything. When you get into a situation with a man, I found that I really struggled to kind of like be soft. And I know in some situations people hear me and think, oh, she's naturally aggressive, she's very hard. But I think that's just a persona that I've always had to have to get things done. And definitely I realized for me that it wasn't necessarily a choice, it was kind of the thing to do, being the firstborn in my family. When things happened with my dad, and obviously my dad decided to go to Nigeria, the natural thing was for me, I had to call all my siblings to say, let's have a meeting, let's do this. Even with regards to my dad that decided to come back to the UK, it was on me. So I felt that it's like I'm some type of superwoman. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, where I had to do, honey, I'm talking about myself, honey babe, I had to do everything and everything, even though sometimes I was drowning. I was going through my divorce 10 years ago, even as recently as a year ago. My son has special needs, he has ADHD, and I struggled last year, but yet I was expected to be good at my job, to deal with the family issues and deal with my kids. And you can't do it all. So for me, I think it's understanding that I think it's not fair for us to have this kind of mindset that we have to be strong. I think it's not fair because we can't do everything. As much as we say that we can, we can't.
Okay.
Yeah, so that
Perfect.
was it for me. Thank you.
So then would we agree that this notion that we put out there, being mature or raising your girls to be, we're not raising little girls, we're raising women, basically.
Yeah.
That's the kind of burden that's put on just the girl child, I think, and especially more so when it's the first daughter in the family. They, the taking away that childlike innocence is taken away from you from a very early age, because you don't get. I have the same experience. I looked after my brother and sister. My mum worked a lot, and I took up the responsibility. My brother was like maybe a toddler, and my sister's like 18 months apart. They're 18 months apart. And I was the one that was looking after them, getting their bottles, changing their nappies, and I was like 8 and 9. I mean, that is like social services, right? But I used to love it. At the time, I'd think like, oh, I used to love it because I love babies and all those things. So I didn't really see it as a big thing. But looking back, I'm like, I could never. My son is 12 and he can't even. I don't know. He wouldn't even know what to do with a baby, let alone kind of having to stay with one, change nappy, give bottles, and all these kind of things. You'd back the babe, and you had to back my brother and sister, with the wrapper and everything. So that's crazy. When I look at it now as a mother, I'm just like, So when I had my son, and my kids have a slightly big age gap, they've got 10 years in between them. I made a very conscious decision not to. My daughter wasn't responsible for her brother at all. Even now, even now, I'm very conscious to not leave her, like, my son in her care, just because I don't want her to have that responsibility. She's not his parent, they're siblings. So that happened as well. So I mean, in terms of the psychological kind of aspects, I think Honey Baby touched on it briefly. What do you think has been the cost of that, though? I think also when we're like, when you're the first daughter and the girl child, a lot of the time you are not allowed to be in your feelings. You're not allowed to cry. That's one thing my mom never allowed us to, like, me to do. Like, if you'd get upset, you're the oldest, why are you crying, or why is that bothering? But it's like, I'm also a child. I would be
I got that
upset.
a lot.
You always get that reprimand because you're meant to be the older one. Why are you crying? That's silly. So you have to be emotionally strong, and you're not allowed to be, I think you have to be what's the word, a lot of your feelings are dismissed because they expect you to be the grown one, even though you're still a child yourself.
Absolutely.
And it does definitely affect, when I know as an adult, relationships, I wasn't one that showed my feelings a lot. I've made a really big effort as the years have gone on, just as I've matured. But I know I wouldn't really speak about my feelings. I'll just keep things to myself, just kind of get on with it. And it's not always healthy, so in interaction. So what do you guys think in terms of kind of emotional, psychological costs of that?
I think for me personally, it definitely impacted me, because I remember, as much as people have this perception of me, that especially when I get very passionate, people will assume, and I get it, that I'm very aggressive and everything, and I'm very boss baby, very hardcore. I can be soft. And the thing is that I remember in certain situations, especially after my divorce, as much as I initiated it, I was still grieving a relationship and a marriage that didn't work out. And I remember I was crying a lot. My mom was like, "Stop me. Why are you crying? Just get on with it." And her mindset was that, get on with it. Because when obviously my dad left, she got on with it. So she's like, "Why are you behaving like this?" And I think she was very dismissive. And I'm not saying it in a hating way. She's my mum and I get it. But that's how she was programmed, to just get on with things. And I think for me, I'm very much in my feelings and I'm being quite open. I remember, I think I've mentioned it on Uncle B's show, where I said about last year, January, I got to a stage where literally I had an anxiety attack. I had a lot going on at work. My son was doing my head in, and I literally was crying to my phone. I'm crying to my mum, and I called her, "Please come to the house and take this boy. I don't know what I'm going to do." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Mummy, you need to come." I think she realized how distraught I was, because she was of the opinion, "What's wrong with you? Just get on with it. What's the big deal?" So she came to the house and she took my son. And that was the first time I think she got it and realized that, Honey Babe, as in her daughter, I'm not strong. I need help. I'm struggling. So I think for me, I had no choice in that time period to let my mum know that I am struggling. I need help. So I think for me, it was either doing that or ending up in a situation where I'm not saying anything, but we don't know what could have happened, because I was distraught. Mentally, I was gone. And I think I said on to be show, I sought help. I got a referral for counseling for about 6 months. I was signed off work for 6 months. This was like last year. And I realized that I got to a place where I needed help, because I was struggling, because I was doing everything. I was, dealing with financial issues, obviously. And then I had my son that was, going through puberty, plus his ADHD, which we were struggling with. And so I was like, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, I just thought I'd just put out there what happened to me. And I realized I had to get help.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm going to play the next video, so we can talk on that and just share with the audience.
If a woman asks you for money, she's speaking to guys, she does not like you. I want to give my 2 cents on that. Do I think that is true? Maybe it's true for some women, but I can only speak for women who are like me, women who suffer from hyper-independence. It is the complete opposite. Hyper-independent women really struggle to ask for any type of support or help, even when they desperately need it. For a woman like me to ask a man for money, it means he's made me feel safe enough to feel like it doesn't come with strings. For me to ask a man for money, I must really, really trust and like him. Asking for anything requires a level of vulnerability that hyper independent people really struggle with. To let that wall down and even ask is a feat in itself. We feel ashamed when we ask for support, and we have this deep rooted desire to succeed without any assistance. Is it unhealthy? Of course, but that's how it is. So when a woman like me asks a man for money, best know I love that man. I really love that man. For me to even fix up my mouth to even ask for anything like that, yeah, complete opposite. There is one man in my life that I've actively asked for money, and that is the man I'm about to marry. That's how uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. If a man gifted me something in the past, I would still struggle to accept it, but with age, I learned to accept. But as far as asking, yeah, I don't agree. For me, to ask a man for money, I really, really like him, if not love him.
Agree.
I agree 100%.
Agree.
I am her, she is
Agree.
me. Sissy, you guys go for it. Your
Yeah, so
take.
I would say I agree on that because I remember, when my husband and I were dating, of course, I was in college at the time. He was also in college, but he was way ahead of me. And he was driving a nice car and all of that. I ended up struggling to get my own little car, to get me to school and get me to my was it my laundromat job that I was doing at the time while I was in school. My aunt has a laundromat business, so I was actually working there as one of the staff while going to school at the same time. And he was driving a nice car. I mean, my husband at the time, he was already into IT. And he was still in school. He was driving a Lexus. He was making good money. But I mean, I try to, like, after watching this video backstage, I try to remember, like, did I even ever ask him for anything really? Like, I don't remember ever asking. And I remember there was one time during that season, my dad he was doing well in Nigeria, and I was here by myself. My siblings were in Igbinedion University. That's where they went to school. So it wasn't like my parents didn't have the money to have me in college in Nigeria. But before Igbinedion started was when I came to the US. If not, I wouldn't have left Nigeria. My dad wouldn't, because he preferred that we all stay together, where he could see us. So, but while I was here, I started to work and, pay my own rent and do all of that. And I remember there was a particular time I was actually struggling between my car insurance and my rent. And then I remember I was pulling like double shifts and going to school full time just so that I could make rent. And I knew that if I just asked him, he would give me. And but I never gave him the impression that I needed anything because I just couldn't ask. Like, how do you even ask? For me, it was just like something I would not do. I found it very, very hard. And I have to say that it was like very close to when we were getting married and all of that. I started trying to like actually like this guy. I'm actually marrying this guy, even though he would give me stuff here and there like gifts, but not money, like cash money. I no, it was just very difficult, and I can say that it was a marriage that I really started doing that. Like I would intentionally ask him, like, I'm going to get my hair done. I can afford to pay for it, but but I want his money instead. So yeah.
Amazing. Honey babe,
Um,
you think?
yeah, I struggled in all the relationships that I've been in, even my marriage. I was always I was so programmed into just getting on with it, whether it's paying for bills and everything, even though I was married, definitely in my marriage. And I'm just kind of thinking back now and realizing that, yeah, I was very, very independent. And you would think being married that I would, we would have an agreement and, I would soften a bit and obviously allow him to obviously lead in the relationships. But I was so caught up in just doing everything, whether it's financially or doing stuff. And yeah, definitely in hindsight, and obviously the marriage was quite a number of years ago, I would hope going forward in that situation, I would do things differently and I would ask.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and I wanted to say about the asking, like I had to be intentional. It was in marriage. Like when I first started, I would go and get my hair done and stuff, and I started asking, and then I skipped asking a few times after that. He noticed that I wasn't asking, and guess what? He just started giving me money. Like, I don't know when you're gonna get your hair done, but here. because it was,
I love an attentive man.
and I was just
Very
like, okay,
good.
thank you. I may not get the hair done, but but I got extra cash. But I mean, that was just it. But to ask, I think it's so bad that even as bad as things were for me when I was in school, struggling between the rent and car insurance and going to school, because school was pretty much paid for. I didn't have to pay any. I couldn't even send my dad an email to tell him that I needed money, and he would have sent me money. Like, I felt like I had to do it on my own. That's the thing. And how old? I was only 18 at the time.
Hmm.
But
While my siblings were in Nigeria balling in their school, you know.
Can I just take a few comments before we continue?
Sure.
That's
go for
okay.
it, Abby.
All right, cool. So Vivian V says, "Welcome, sis." This Vivian V says, "The boy child gets the pass.
Always.
Sisters are raised to be the backbone.
Mm,
Not all bad, but there's too much pressure on the Afro Black girl child."
facts.
That's absolutely true.
Yes.
The real Mojo, welcome, Missy. Hope you're good. Says it's hard for me to ask my husband for money too, but I think he has gotten used to me not asking and being comfortable that way. Amazing. Different things work for different people, to be fair. Cool Mama says it's hard for me to ask for money even now that we are married.
Mm.
Zeno says, I always get scared to ask because I wonder the same. What's attached to you doing this, and what am I willing to do if you ask? That is very real,
Deep.
especially with certain
Mm.
men. Sister Chinye says, I am in my soft girl era. I cannot come and cry myself. Forget about this nonsense hyper independence. I got it. I beg you.
It's true. It's a mindset
It's
shift.
true. It's a
We're
mindset.
working
is,
on
it
it. We're
is.
working on
You
it.
have to be.
Definitely, it's definitely a mindset shift, because I'm so used to it, and I'm realizing consciously I'm being intentional that in the next relationship I have, even before I have a relationship, I need to soften myself. It's a daily struggle, trust me.
Uncle Beno says, you ladies are messing me up with all these revelations. Okay. Sister Marius, good evening, sis. Welcome. Maybe some of you don't ask because you think you've arrived.
No, never.
Time.
It's not.
Time.
It's not. It's not. It's
It's
not.
not.
Quiet.
So.
Like that.
Quiet.
For us there. Uncle Emeka says, my daughter and I have an understanding. Before you ask any man for money, ask me first.
I trust you, Zadie.
Yes, so
Come
that's
on.
how it is.
Fully correct.
Ari Kemi, welcome. See, she says, I agree with Zeno. I find it difficult to ask my hobby. If I ask, I sense a funny attitude. I retract my requests. Wow.
Really? So why is it that the married women are still finding it difficult to ask? Because I feel like that should be your safe place. Isn't that what Tony just said? Like, even her, I mean, when you get to that level of kind of relinquishing that, what is it that's not letting you to fully, even with your husbands, to just ask and be free? Like, okay, at least this is my man, I should be asking. Is it just what is that that's holding everybody back? The married
I
women.
think it's sorry, I'll let you speak. Sorry. I was going to say, I think it's programming. When you've been programmed, I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I'm not alien, Abby, you know now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when you've been, like I said, before you didn't wake up, you know what, born being married. So you've been programmed, you've been doing it, just getting on with it. So I know my marriage wasn't that long compared to Sister Yinka's, but I'm saying that you're so used to it. So you're on autopilot. So I think it takes, since the Yinka can unpack it, it takes intentional work daily to now reprogram and unlearn those behaviors. I mean, Sister Yinka can obviously continue what I said, but that's what I think.
Yeah, you're very, very right. So, like the way that it's worked for us, of course, it was very difficult for me, like I said, to even ask for anything. It was very difficult. And I had to be intentional about it, like asking for, like, can I get hair money? Like, I want to go get my hair done. This is how much it's going to cost, I may ask this time and not ask again. I may ask now and not ask maybe for like a couple of months or whenever I wanted to go next. But then, of course, you have to be intentional about it. And as you get comfortable with your spouse, hopefully, the kind of spouse you have is someone you can actually talk to, that is your friend. you get more and more comfortable with it. There's really much nothing that I can ask for now. I just even jokingly say it like, okay, I need your wallet. I'm going to the store, even if I'm not going to do anything. And but for me to actually get to that point where I'm that comfortable to say that, oh yeah, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of me thinking like, oh wow, well, he knows that I have, it's not like I can afford it. But for him now, I think because we talked about it before, he says if I ask him, he knows it's not because I don't have it, it's because I want his. And that makes him feel good. Right. So I'm like, okay, I'll ask and hold on to mine. But it really is intentional though, especially if it doesn't come easy for you. Because in their marriage is different from when you're dating someone. I really don't believe in asking your boyfriend for money. Honestly, I don't. I wouldn't. I mean, that was the way I was raised. So I wouldn't do that. But in a marriage, I think all bets are off when it gets there. But when it's in a marriage, but you just have to be comfortable with the one that you're with before you can do that. For women that are hyper independent.
I agree. I agree. Abby?
Unfortunately, for me as Gen Z, I have the same mindset of not asking boyfriends for money.
I
And I say
agree.
it's unfortunate because I think that men should actually bring money. I think that you need to show me that you are financially a
Abby, pull
provider.
back love across borders comment. That
Mhm.
aligns perfectly with what you're just saying.
Where
Her
is
previous
that?
Where is it?
comment.
Yeah, I do honestly.
Yes,
Sorry.
that one, yeah.
Yeah, because you have to show me is audition. Marriage, relationships audition for marriage. How do I know that in marriage,
You
how
can
do
step
I know
up.
I'm married and odogu if you don't
You
start for a relationship? You know,
no, he will show you his workings now. You
like
don't have to ask. He will
I
naturally just
know.
do things for
Now
you.
let me now explain the predicament because I have friends, especially Igbo. Igbo babes, they don't carry last for this kind of things. I have friends, and a lot of my friends are Igbo, and their own is that, well, if you don't ask, I'm moving away. Like if you don't give me when I ask, you're not my man. And it's always so funny because I don't know how to. So the guy that I
Yeah.
dated, there was a guy I dated. It was quite long. It was like around 4 years. We got engaged and everything. It was such a funny an Igbo man, and that's another reason why I always, the whole joke of calling me Mrs. Okonkwo. This is why
Mhm.
every time I think about it from that point of view of dating and almost marrying an Igbo man. This
Hmm.
man, the trajectory of our relationship, when we first met, he was not earning as much because he hadn't started his business. I remember just chilling one day. When we first started was when Monzo, I don't know if anybody knows the Monzo cards. The UK people know it. I don't
Yeah.
know if I've ever said
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I know Monzo. Yeah, yeah.
Was when the Monzo cards got popular. So one day I was just chilling. My Monzo just the chicken. That's the sound that Monzo used to start make it was like £50 or something at the time. And I was thinking to myself, oh, what do you want me to buy anything for you? Because I was planning a trip to Nigeria. And I was like, oh no, just do your nails. This was a guy
Ah,
that didn't earn it as
energy.
much. This was like naira to pounds as well, because the guy was living in Nigeria. And then as this guy's business started, and then I had a conversation with him, and he goes, "Oh, I need to give you allowance, literally like proper Igbo man.
Mhm.
They call it an allowance.
Hmm.
I'm going to
Correct.
give you allowance every month." And as this guy's income increased, the money was increasing. The money was
That's
increasing.
right.
Hey, this is
Fantastic.
high energy. This is Odogu energy. And then that was how my life was. So the next thing was now, it was not making money. His business was great. I was not getting the deal. You know how we rode the holiday, the Maldives. I was enjoying my life until obviously relationship ended.
Told
Like,
you.
obviously, but I'm telling you that it makes a difference when you date that kind of man because
Sure.
regardless of the fact that I'm happy about the fact that I ended because obviously that was not meant for me for obvious reasons, is the fact that
You
he
didn't have
has
time.
actually been a benchmark.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
true.
I don't know how to explain it because that's the thing about
Mhm.
relationships. You take the good, you leave the bad, right?
Mm.
That
Yeah.
man has been a benchmark since I've been dating in my life. Where the next guy I dated after like 18 months of healing, this £1.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
This
Sorry.
one, did he give me £1? I did it for like 8 months, right? And he
You
left such
serious?
a sour taste in my mouth because he now fit that stereotype of how, oh, black British boys, Nigerian British boys are
So
stingy.
stingy.
He
Mm,
fits that stereotype for me. I was like, so this was because that was my first Nigerian British guy, right? So I was just thinking to
sure.
myself, hey, God, this was only last year I'm talking about, or what, 2 years ago. We've not, yeah, it ended like a year ago. So like 2 years ago, this thing happened. And I'm just thinking to
Okay.
myself, what kind of boy is this? As in, He never did anything freely, and I don't ask. So I was just looking at him. We're looking at each other, No, right?
But were you going out on dates though? Was
We
he
were going
paying
out
the?
on dates. We were
Who
going
was
out on dates.
paying?
He was paying.
Ex-
He was. I'm not going to lie. I was paying, but you have to
Okay.
understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from where they send me money for nails. For let me tell you what this guy is today. I can tell this guy, oh, my stomach is hurting. Maybe my period or something. We will just send £500. That target Panadol. Please,
Ah.
my
Panadol for stomach
I'm
pain.
finished.
that's where I was coming from. He now wants to just limit me to just paying for dates. Now that last one, I was just like, nah, this is not my life. I need an odogu. So yeah. My point is, you don't have to ask. Men that know about that life would make
Yes.
it available.
Yes.
Even when I would
Yeah.
go visit
Yeah.
him, or when he would come visit me, he always gave me his card. Enjoy yourself, baby.
Yeah, you see, that was the standard. I think that because you had that, because of that experience, that is
That's
now your
soft
standard.
landing.
I cannot
That's what-
settle. I cannot settle.
Exactly.
Mm.
I totally get it, Abby.
See, that's the good in that relationship. But the reason why you're not with the person is the
Is
bad.
another
So,
one.
which
That
means
one
you
is
can't
not.
always get everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Balance. But
Mm.
ultimately, I'm saying that it's important to also have a man that uses his initiative.
Yes.
Initiative is very important. Come on, because
Sure.
I pride myself as someone that also uses my initiative to make sure that my man is happy. You don't have to tell
Yeah.
me do this or do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can tell. Like this particular guy I'm talking about as well. I had situations where he had difficult days at work, and I'll put together a hamper. Just use your initiative to make sure your partner is happy and feels provided for. That's what I'm saying. Women don't always have to ask. Sometimes use your brain. So yeah.
I think you just have to look at it from the perspective of if the guy is kind. If he's kind and he's naturally
Yeah.
just doing things, it may not be like money in your account where he's sending you money, but it'll be like little things. You know, you're going out, he's picking the bill, or maybe you want to buy something, and all of a sudden he comes he comes to your place with the thing that you were just talking about yesterday. You know, he means that he's thinking about you and he's actually spending the money. It's just like he's not giving it to you directly like that because you're not asking for the money. And some guys they will hold back because they don't want you to feel a certain way, you know, like oh they're sending you money because they don't know what kind of meaning you may read to that. So
Absolutely.
it's a
Okay. And then just in terms of kind of looking at the psychological factors in terms of why hyper independent women struggle to ask for help even in relationships that are secure and safe. I think a lot of it comes from the early conditioning. I think Connie Babe mentioned it before, where I think sometimes even when I'd say help wasn't really safe for us or it wasn't available. So for example, you could ask your parents for something and I see this a lot. It's like a Nigerian thing, but most African parents have an example of it. They'll be like, you'll be looking for something, then they'll say, "Oh, mom, I'm looking for this thing." Then, or if you find it, they'll say, "Oh, put it on my head." They'll give you that kind of harsh, like. I always say Nigerians, but Ugandans have something similar, right? So it'll be like, kind of go and figure it out yourself, or be strong, like do it on your own, have that independence to go. So even when you want help, you don't necessarily feel like safe enough to go to your parents because you'll feel like, okay, if you go and you don't know what you need to do, now you're in trouble. So you will rather not go and ask for help. So it's kind of like you'll either receive a punishment or you'll be rejected or there's some kind of disappointment, with that kind of response, like when they'll say, put it on my head. Or those kind of comments that parents make, you just feel so stupid, like, oh god, I'm not even gonna go and ask for help. Do you understand? So it kind of just becomes our identity. That survival mode takes over, and as we grow into women, and obviously once you start dating, you just feel like your natural default setting is to, I'm not even going to bother to ask for help in case I make myself look stupid or somebody gives me a response that's not what I want to hear. They don't want to help me. So let me just, do it on my own. And I'm guilty of this. And I noticed I had an incident with my daughter. She's in this chat somewhere. So maybe she'll jump in and thing. So, hey, baby, she came to support her mama.
Well done.
well done.
She,
Welcome.
I noticed that I don't like to ask for help. It is really bad. I will rather suppress this thing, work it out, figure it out by myself until I got to a point like, no, this is not, it's not healthy. It's not, especially when you have like people around you, like you have a good support system, you have a good network, you need to be able to rely or at least lean
Mm.
on somebody in your circle, whether it's your friend, like maybe a really close friend, or if you have a partner, you know, you should be able to afford them that opportunity to step in to support, right? Or else
Yeah.
why are they there? Friends and partners shouldn't only be there in the good times.
Yeah.
They should be
Yeah.
there, you know, when you need their support, whether that's financial
Exactly.
or whatever kind of support, right? So I had
Yeah.
an incident like a few years ago, and I was just like, why am I not asking for help? These people are readily available. And when I eventually bit the bullet and said, you know what, I was in a predicament and I had to ask a friend for help with something. And my friend was like, why did you not come to me before? Like, it's not an issue. Boom, boom, boom. She just did it quickly. And this issue was sorted. Something that I'd been racking my brains for like months, trying to figure out, okay, should I ask this person? Should I not? Should I ask this person? Should I not? Should I speak to this person? Should I not? So you just always feel like, you know what, let me just leave it. I'll do it by myself. So I feel like a lot of the time, because we haven't been allowed to be safe in our request for help, it makes it really difficult when you, even when you have support, when you have a loving partner, to still allow that kind of vulnerability for them to take over. I'm starting to learn that now in the last two relationships that I have. My relationship before, because I had an incident with that partner where he wanted to pay something for me, and I was just like, why do you want to pay that thing? Like, I was like, no, you don't need to pay. And this guy is very much a Nigerian traditional, like, he's like, you'll just be at home, you don't need to work. He was making good money, and I was just like, no, thank you, I want to work, I want to do my thing. But he was very much somebody who wants to take care of me. Anything that I needed, my bills or whatever, he wanted to take care of. And I was like, no, there's no need. We're not married. Do you understand? But he got so offended that it caused an issue between us. And I remember I was speaking to my mum. I was like, Mum, why is this guy trying to, like, it's like he's trying to buy me? And my mum was like, no, he's an African man. He wants to take care of you. Like that, if he's not doing that, he feels like, what is his role? What's the need of him being with you, right? So as I started to understand that, I'm like, you know what, let me just take my foot off the brake and see what could happen. And as I started to do that, let him, you know, pay certain things, do certain things, if that's what makes him feel masculine, or, you know, it empowers him. What's my own? Is it not lessening my own burden financially or whatever it is? You know, so I used to let him do that, and I got so comfortable with it. Now with my current partner, I've kind of like completely taken my foot off. I still don't ask for things. I still struggle. I wouldn't go up to him and say, babe, I need this amount of money. No, I still have this toxic trait where I expect men or people to know what I need and to ask me. If you ask me, I'll say, yes, I need it. But if you don't ask me, I still struggle to voice that need and to ask. So I still have that problem even now, and we're a work in progress, right? So I think I'd say that's where a lot of that comes from. You know, we haven't really been able to feel safe when we've asked for support, asked for help. It's been shut down or just ignored sometimes, you know. So I mean, would you ladies relate? Do you think that's the thing?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's real. Sisters, can I just ask for us to address this comment real quick before we move on to the next segment of the show?
Sure.
It's from Sister Sue. She says, what are some signs that your strength has turned into burnout or emotional exhaustion?
Can I answer that only because I've been through it? I think you'll know because you'll be moving mad. I'm gonna be honest. I remember at work I was just crying all the time. This is the time last January that I've mentioned before, and I know that I remember waking up and I was scared in terms of waking up my son to see what's going to happen, because we were fighting all the time in terms of getting him ready. And obviously, because I was working in London, I had to be at the house by 7. So I remember having literally not sleeping, waking up, literally shaking, thinking, what's going to happen this morning? Am I going to be late to get the train? Am I going to be late dropping him at the bus stop? So I think for me personally, the signs is that you're emotionally exhausted because you're feeling anxious. It got to a stage, like I said, I ended up talking to a counselor and they wanted to actually give me antidepressants. I refused to because I didn't think I was depressed. I thought I was anxious, and I think the counseling helped. But I think when you get to a stage where you think that I'm going to do something crazy, I'm going to do something stupid, that's when you know that you need to get help, whether that's burnout or emotional exhaustion, I can't tell you, but you would know that I need to get help before something happens. That's what I can say from my own experience. I don't know what the ladies say.
Yeah, so I also share that sentiment as well. So a couple of years ago, there were some things between, happening within my extended family, not my marriage, like my extended family. And of course, being the first of my mom, I had to step in. Well, I was expected to step in. So I stepped in as expected and I was doing a lot of things. And it got to a point. I can still remember that day vividly because my mom was in the car with me. We were coming back from church. My husband had driven another car because he had to go somewhere else. And my boys were in the back seat. And my mom was talking to me about this situation and exactly what she wanted me to do. Now, this is me, like, it was almost like at this point I was sleeping, waking up, going through my day, and I still had to deal with all these family problems because I'm her first. So at this point, we're coming back from church, and she was still telling me about things that she, is expected of me because some people were having some issues and I needed to step up some more. And I just pulled my car to the side of the road and I was losing it.
Oh
Like,
wow.
I was like, you know what, mom? You need to take this firstborn thing and find somebody else to give it to. Like, I can't do this anymore. It was that bad. That was, I
Okay.
think,
Wow.
I think that was a
Yeah.
wake-up call for my mom because I've
Yeah.
never, even my boys at the back, they were like, uh-oh. Like, I totally lost it. And this was like more than a year of me dealing with this stuff. And that day was just it. And I've been giving her signs all this while that something is wrong. I don't want to talk about this because it's really messing up my day. But that day solidified it for me. And that my mom right there knew that she needed to she needed to figure out something else. And she called my siblings and called everybody. She's like, we need to figure out some other way to handle this issue. Because at that point, if it was a literal crown on my head, I was ready to put it down and say, you know what, I'm done with this. I cannot do this firstborn thing because my husband is not
Mm.
stressing me. My children are not stressing me. I'm not gonna let family from where I come from, be the end of me. So I think it's about, when you start acting out of character, and
Yeah.
you're
Mm.
burnt out. You need to let it go. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as it's not something that is going to hurt you personally. Everybody needs to go deal with their stuff at this point because this is your life at the end of the day, and you didn't ask to be here for you to have to carry that crown as a woman and then as a firstborn as well. That's double. So,
Yeah.
mhm,
I agree with that. Thank you,
mhm,
Sister
mhm,
Yinka.
And for myself, I feel like mine was one of the ways that I knew that I was having this burnout feeling is I was just feeling like emotionally detached. Nothing what I wasn't motivated to do a lot of things. Like if people invite me out, I'm not really interested, and I'm a social person. I'm not, I'm not the type of person that's out every single day, every weekend, but I love to have people around. I noticed that I wasn't interested in doing anything. I wasn't interested in seeing people, even talking on the phone. Once I'd had a full day at work of talking, because my job involves a lot of talking, meetings, I would come home. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody, even my kids at times. That's how bad it was. And
mm,
that was just mental exhaustion. And sometimes resentment also built, like, you have this resentment where you start to feel angry, unappreciated,
mm,
and you're angry that nobody is helping you. But hello, are you asking for help? Have I asked anybody for help? I have not. So why am I upset at people? Why am I upset and feeling
Mm.
unappreciated and angry at people? Yet I have not asked for anybody for help. Do you
That
understand?
happens to
So
me too.
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. You start feeling like, okay, am I invisible? Is it that people are not noticed? So you kind of walk around, like you're super grumpy, super irritated, super
mm,
agitated, and you feel like, okay, why are people not? Like I said, that's my toxic trait. I expect people to know what I need and just to do it. Okay, which is a bad thing because it's at a detriment to myself, because now my expectations of other people are like, okay, this thing is not being done, but have I asked for their support? Have I asked for their help? No, I
mm,
haven't. So why am
Mm.
I getting upset about this? So I think that can be. And then just in terms of your body, I'd say, I think somebody, Abby, I pinned it in the backstage, but I don't think you've seen the message. I think it's from what's our sister's name?
It's Fresh Start
Fresh
40.
Start, yeah, Fresh Start 40. She said obviously some of the physical um
Mm.
signs that you'd be obviously exhausted or
Yeah,
burnout
just stay
would
up.
be obviously withdrawal, fatigue,
mhm,
your body shuts down. Those are signs of burnout, I'd say. that you can
Mm.
notice. You know, sometimes even just you'd have like, I don't know if people have this when I'm not feeling good, I'll start having this feeling in my tummy is not settled. Like I don't need to go toilet. I don't have an upset stomach. It's just I feel this feeling in my like in the pit of my stomach that I'm not settled. So a lot of the time that stems with when you're stressed, when you're anxious, you just feel this kind of feeling within yourself, like, okay, you don't feel 100% right. Even if you've slept, you still feel really tired, you know. I'd say those are, for me, those would be the things that I would know that, okay, Cynthia, you're doing too much. You need to relinquish some of these reins that you're putting on yourself. So, Abby, what are you playing?
Well, that was
What happened, Abby?
Go for it.
long story.
Are we reading a comment from Marriott?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
next question is on the screen from Sister Mario. How do you ensure you don't surrender your power while addressing hyper independence?
Abby, go for it.
How do you ensure you don't surrender your power while addressing hyper independence? I think first things first, it would be we actually had a slight conversation about this on the backstage today. When Uncle Ben was teasing me about being, wanting a certain kind of man. And I said I actually do like a traditional man. I would just call them my ex used to say modern traditionalist is what he used to call
Yes,
himself.
absolutely.
Modern traditionalist in the sense that he's not opposed to what women want to do. He does not believe that women belong in the kitchen or anything that is typically traditional. But he also believes in being the provider. He also believes in being the head of the house. He also believes in leading, right? So I think first things first, it will be from a point of having the right partner. So if you're on the same page, I think they understand how far not to push you with your independence. I saw this happen in my parents' marriage as well, where my dad would always make statements like, your mom likes her things a certain way, so I let her do those things. And I've seen that as well with myself, where I'm very type A personality. So I can't be in, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm sort of person that, for instance, we talked about it before with like even kitchen stuff as well, where I want to be in the kitchen by myself at the time that I want to cook. Don't I know that I understand the romance of coming to come and help me cut onions, but it's kind of in a sense has to be on my terms, if that makes sense. So I think if you first things first, if you have the right partner where they understand that there's certain things that you rather do yourself, or there's certain things that's easier for you to do and for everybody to be happy and satisfied. I think that kind of works in that setup as well, where you know how far to not push me, and then when you kind of know when I need you as
Yeah.
well. But most
Sure.
especially, I
Yeah.
just reply to Sister Arikemi in the chat, because we talked about it before, where the whole thing about I'm someone that I've been referring to myself as someone who's just kind of coming away from always saying yes to people. Is a very recent thing to me. I used to always say yes to everything. So I'll say I've only just started working on myself on that in the last year, where I now say no. So replying to her was, I also realized that I need to open my mouth and talk and ask for help. I've also realized the importance of utilizing my friends. They want to do it. And quite frankly, it is something my dad also taught me, the importance of your friends seeing you as vulnerable. You can't be in a situation where your friends think you're perfect, your career 100%, this one 100%. Like, come on, people are sharing their burden with you, because I'm that sort of person where I'm a go-to person for so many people. But you somehow your life is perfect. You need to be able to be vulnerable as well and say, this aspect of my life, I'm actually struggling. What do you think? You have friends for different reasons. You have friends for work. I have friends that work in my same what's it called industry. We talk about work. You should have friends for everything. So my dad even taught me that, where nobody's saying go and pour all of your life problems on people, but you need to have moments of vulnerability with your friends, with people that also come to you here and there. It's actually very important for balanced, friendships or balanced relationships. And I've actually made that mistake in the past, where I've had those issues with friends, where if I one friend accused me of being self-righteous and so perfect, right? But it's because you don't see the imperfection, because I don't come to you. But in my defense,
Yeah.
I have such
Yeah.
an amazing family that also are my friends, where I never had to go to friends, if that makes sense, for a very long time, until my mom passed. This family that always had my back, they are going through as much pain as I am. What do I want? What would I use them for? Do you understand? They need me. I need them. But I needed outsiders as well. I didn't understand the importance, and this is crazy because it was only like around 4 years ago. I didn't understand the importance of solid friendships until that happened. I saw people come through for me in a way that I've never seen before. The family that I depend on so much were as weak as me. So where do we go from here? Right? So I think that's the thing about what's it called? Not surrendering your power, but addressing hyper-independence. I think it's just a case of trust. Trust your partner. You're with someone who, like minds as well. I think it makes things easier in a sense, because really I don't think it ever really goes away. But if you're with someone that you trust, I think it's easier to address and kind of address it. And quite frankly, again, when I think about my experience with dating different people, I've also seen this as well, where there's certain people that are willing to take on the burden of your imperfections. Other people are not.
Ooh,
Remember
that's a
the
good one.
the very first video we played, what did the woman say? That man said, she's quite independent, I don't want it. But the woman said, there are many men. That last guy that I was talking about, that the money issue, that guy had a lot of underlying issues when it comes to like relationship with his mom or certain things, and I made excuses for him. And that's why I'm saying that women will give grace all the time, men will not. Why is that a reason to throw somebody away that you like, rather than let me see if I can work with this person and show her that she can trust me and can depend on me to some extent, right? So I think that's it really.
And I think for me, in terms of the question, the power, I think when you are able to kind of understand, redefine what that means, I think power is not, it shouldn't be control, right? It's like when men say, oh, I want a submissive, you don't want a submissive person, you want somebody that can walk alongside you, right? We always say that. I feel like the redefine what that power is. Power shouldn't be about control. It really should just be about a choice, knowing who to give that control to. I think that empowers you in itself. So then you will be able to kind of lessen the burden on yourself, right? Just like Abby said, if you have the partner that makes you feel safe, makes you feel protected, it's very easy. Like we talk all the time. We say, oh, submission, submission. All of us will start screaming, no, we will not submit. We will not submit. But immediately we meet a man that is doing what he needs to do. He's respectful.
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready to bend and twist and do origami for the man. Submission is not a problem. It's just who we're submitting to. So to me,
exactly,
I feel like if it's not about the power, you're only able to relinquish that hyper independence when you are with somebody who allows you to be safe and can give you the choice to lean on them, and like we said, takes on that burden from you and doesn't see it as your weakness, So I think that's my point.
Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick, just
Go
to
for it.
bring it back home to the point of, everyday activity, right? So I remember when I was pregnant with my son, and we had just bought our house at the time. Our house didn't have any curtains, and my husband had gone to work. And every day, because it was just a brand new house, it took us a while, to put the blinds up. I can't remember, but I think I was out of work for a little while. Maybe I took a vacation or something because I wasn't due yet. And my husband, we had bought the curtains and the curtain rods and everything was in the living room. And my husband said he was going to get to it. Day one went, day two went. Every time we wanted to go to bed, I would have to put like a curtain, like high, just to hide, because once you turn on the lights, everybody can see what's going on in your house, right? So we would have to put like a sheet or something on the window. And he said he would get to it and get to it and get to it. And then one day he went to work. I was already 7 months pregnant. I grabbed the ladder and I put the blinds up the entire freaking house. And
God.
and that's because this is stuff that I used to do before. Like, I'm very handy. I will build just about anything. Just give me the instructions, the manual, and I will do it. And I remember, I was feeling so good that day when I did all of that, because it's like I was holding myself back from doing all of this for like a full almost a week, right? And for someone who's used to handling stuff herself, it was really a big deal that I held off to put this curtains off myself. And then I finally did it that day. And when my husband came home, oh my God, I can never forget.
He
Like,
was pissed.
this guy was pissed. He said, what if something happened to me and I fell and then I'll end up in the emergency room and, God forbid something happened. How is he supposed to explain to my parents that I fell because
You
I
were
was holding
carrying
the
the lad
curtain
out
up and
7
I'm
months
7 months
pregnant.
pregnant? Like, what am I here for? I am your husband. I told you to be patient. You know I'll get to it. So that day I kind of realized that, I don't have to, I mean, he's shown me, and then even though we're newlyweds, he's shown me, before then that he's capable of doing these things. I just had to learn to be patient, right? And not get things done, even though he too had to, I mean, this is all about balance. So he used to be the one that would take so long to get to things, and I wouldn't wait because I can do stuff, But me learning to, slow down and say, you know what, he's got it. I just need to let him do it, instead of trying to handle stuff because I can do it. He knows I can do it. So if I'm leaving it for him, it's because I trust him enough to. Normally, I wouldn't even need anybody for that. So that's part of, hyper independence in women, where you have to kind of learn to hold off, not because you can't do it, but you're allowing the man to do what he's got to do because he wants to do it. That's his role to play.
Agree.
Hmm.
Abby?
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm mute. I was saying, can we please address this comment before we go to the next?
Oh, I wanted to answer that question as well, but if you want to go to the next comment.
Well, oh, sorry. Go ahead then. Go.
I'll say it very briefly in terms of, I think definitely what all the ladies said does make sense. There has to be a balance. And like I said, I think from what the lady said is that you choose when you're with the right partner to be vulnerable and to be soft. Doesn't mean that the thing is, when you choose to be soft and vulnerable, you're basically respecting and appreciating and showing your authentic self, because like I said, it's very true. Some of us, when we're hyper independent, we have this mask, but trust me, when we're home, we don't always have it. We have our flaws. We are crying. I've told you what I went through last year, but if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have known, would you? So I think we have this mask, but when you're with the right person, you take off your mask, you're soft, you're vulnerable. And that's what it's all about, whether it's in friendships. I've learned to reach out to people more than I did when I was much younger, and realizing that I don't always know it all and I don't always have it all. And I think is having that balance and having that circle of support, whether it's your partner or whether it's your circle of friends, to be able to be authentic enough to take off this armor, which is strength, which is normally associated with endurance, and also not being your authentic self and being open to say, this is me with all my flaws, and having a support system that is able to accept you for who you are. So I think that's very, very important.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I agree with you, honey babe. So the question is, can the hyper independent people admit that they are controlling?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. I totally agree. I'm not gonna lie.
We're recovering from our controlling
I
behavior.
don't,
Yes.
I
It's a
don't,
work
I
in
Yes,
don't,
progress.
yes, yeah,
I
yes.
It's not
refuse,
an overnight thing.
Yeah,
I
we're,
refuse to take that tag. I'm not controlling.
You're controlling.
I'm
I
not
can be.
controlling.
I can be.
I'm type A
No cap.
personality, period. I'm not controlling. Okay, I'm going to take a few I don't know, questions, comments, and then we're going to move on to the next. Sister Maria says, do the women in panel want to be led? Can we
Yeah,
address that
why not?
quickly?
Yes. So, not
The
at
thing
first, but
is
yes.
that I think, of course, if I meet the right person tomorrow or more, see this honey babe you're seeing, I will be doing all
Soft as
the
patty.
soft as butter. Let me tell you. But I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, of course, why not?
You'll start speaking in Uncle Ben's voice yesterday on that Mama 5 show, right? Doing
Yeah,
soft,
yeah, yeah,
demure
yeah.
and very
Not
sweet.
like I was before, where I was
Mm.
Yeah, of course, I'll be fully soft. I'm ready for that.
Yeah. So
MJ, sorry,
people,
nice.
yes, I wanted to say, like, people that know my husband and I, and they know, like, if, maybe there's a particular place I'm very, very active, but when it comes to him, the way I talk, they say I use a different tone when I'm talking to my husband. That man brings the salt. Like, I don't know, but
I'm not
I
going to
can't.
lie. You have been trying to convince Uncle Ben that I show up very differently in my romantic relationships. He's
Yes, so
refusing. Mm.
ah.
You'll be very
It's
surprised. I
different
actually think
though.
I'm a bit stupid in romantic relationships. No, like I'm not no cap.
Love a girl. Love a girl.
Yeah.
No, anyway. M Jones, hi sis, good evening. She says you and your partner should have an understanding of the roles and personality of each other. I
I
absolutely
Absolutely.
agree. Yes.
agree. Vivian V says, I'm not against submissive wives, but they are often at the top rank of exploited and abused women. Respect is enough because some cannot differentiate between submission and abuse. I absolutely agree with that to a very large extent, but I feel like this is something we can discuss on another show because this is a very, this submission,
It's
head
huge.
of the house, neck of the house thing is such a big topic in most relationships and marriages that I feel like it deserves a show of its own, right? So, yeah, that's what I think. Does anybody have anything else to say?
Nope. Run the next.
Okay.
Video.
All right, cool. So we have one last video for this segment, and that's it really.
Dating as an independent woman is hard because you're always ready to leave. And boy, do I have a lot to say about this. When you are very independent, it could be so easy to default to, I don't need this, instead of communicating and or compromising. Applying discernment when it comes to separating deal breakers from normal relationship stuff couples go through is key. And this is me keeping it real with speaking from experience. Sometimes when we're just ready to leave, it's a defense mechanism. When you are very independent, you are so used to doing things for yourself, being accountable to yourself, not disappointing yourself, relying on yourself, that putting your heart in someone else's hands can be incredibly daunting. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you need to be RTL, you need to be ready to leave. But there are other times where you have to have a conversation with yourself, because there is a big difference, and this is why I say discernment is key. There's a big difference between having an issue with someone's core character, someone disrespecting you, an inability to see eye to eye when it comes to like a key value, versus being angry at your man because he used all your face wash. When you're very independent, I'm not going to lie to you, you can get into the habit of being ready to leave over small issues. When you are hyper independent, you're so used to doing stuff on your own time, doing stuff to your own terms, doing stuff how you want them to be done, that when you are in a relationship setting, it can potentially grate on you sometimes. You can find yourself being frustrated about little things because you're so used to managing your own by yourself. And that's when you end up to defaulting to, I don't need this. I don't need this. Why am I here? I don't need this. And again, sometimes it is bad. And you may also find yourself feeling that way when you receive constructive criticism. When you're independent and you're used to being reliable for yourself and doing things right and being accountable to yourself and no one else, when someone gives you constructive criticism, it can really get to you. And you may also default to, I don't need this. When in reality, you should stop, pause, reflect, and communicate with your person. So yeah, I don't want the video to be too long, but what I'm trying to say is to the hyper independent women out there, it is good to be able to take care of yourself. It's good to be independent, but also if you're someone who's always ready to leave over the smallest inconveniences, query that. Like the face wash example, sometimes the issue is not them, the issue is us. You may be really used to not sharing, really used to having everything under your control, and the problem there is letting go of that control freak part of you, that unwillingness to share part of you, because that is not conducive for a positive relationship. And if you're always in this habit of being ready to leave over the minor things, the little inconveniences, you will get into a habit of having difficulty sustaining a relationship on the basis of always running away from things that make you uncomfortable, always running away from communication, always running away from conflict. And I am by no means saying put up with BS. If a man is disloyal, if a man is disrespectful, if you have to repeat something a million times and he still don't want to listen, if your values do not align, if the key stuff is not working, get the heck up out of there. But if it's little things that can be solved through a discussion, if it's little things that may indicate an issue with your own character, if it's frustrations because your partner is holding a mirror up to you and you're having issues confronting it, don't be so quick to go. So yeah, dating as independent women, yeah, be ready to leave, but sometimes it's not good.
Who can relate?
Yeah, Cece, what were you saying?
I said, who can relate? I can't relate on that. I'm not. That's not me. I think I
I
give
can,
people.
I can relate. I can relate
I'm not.
because yeah.
I like to communicate. If I have a problem, I will let you know. If you are not willing to change it, then we'll have a problem. But I do tend to give people grace in the beginning to work if I like the person, especially. But if it's somebody that you're just talking to, then yeah, maybe the interest won't be there. But it's not necessarily because of hyper independence. It's just that I don't want to waste my time. I know the type of relationship I want, and I need somebody who's aligned with that thinking. If you're not, and you seem to be a time waster, or you're just here for the fun ride, that's not what I'm looking for. Then I'll let the person go. It's not an issue. But if it's small things, then you just accommodate the person. You can try and accommodate them. You can be flexible, right? It's a communication. If they're willing to work on it, great. If they're not, then you let them go.
I think for me, I can relate from the point of view. Yes, it's good to communicate, but I think sometimes you just like, I'm not wasting my time, especially when it's the bigger things. If it's like, yeah, because even my son does it, he leaves the seat up, that drives me nuts. I have to keep repeating to him, put the toilet down, those type of things, you know, toothpaste and certain things like that. Those are little things that obviously you could communicate. But when it's the bigger things, I think I have less tolerance. I'm not even gonna like give you grace once, you're gone. So I can relate in terms of that.
Not even once. Why are you so
No,
harsh
I
on me,
think
babe?
no, I think it's the point of view where and he's gonna say that I'm just being real, but I think it's because like I've got to an age now, like I said to you, I've got married, made the mistakes, learned, and I know that if I was to be in another relationship again, anticipating marriage, I'm not going to take the BS that I took in my past relationships and to some extent what I took in my marriage, as short as it was. So for me, as soon as I see red flag, or well, I wouldn't even entertain a red flag, but as soon as I see something that, no, I'm not even going to entertain it, because if I do, I'm going to enable him and it's just going to make things worse. I'm gone. Thank you. Block, delete, don't look for me.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like some people are laughing at me because they already know. See, that guy. What happened to him? Where is he?
This Abby's on this table.
God,
Abby's
please.
on this table.
Like as Iku said, after this live stream, I've been inspired to change, to go on a journey of doing better as a woman.
Good.
How about
Good.
that? Thank you very much. Free me.
Good. Please, guys, why did Abby let go of somebody because the guy has too many likes? This is not right. We need to talk about this. We'll come back and talk
Why
about
are girls liking your pictures? For what?
why are people liking you going for a good looking man. You don't want people to like his picture. No,
hold on. We CC, rewind. Waiting they talk. Too many likes on waiting. On what? Are you kidding me?
I said, can you date? I said you need to change. You need to date an uglier guy. Problem solved.
No way.
My sister said she cannot do that. I said, so allow us to feast our eyes. What's your problem? Said, no, sorry, block and delete. I don't understand this behavior.
Block and delete.
So Abby is on this table. Abby, why are you like this? Explain yourself.
I actually don't know. I just feel like, for me to be fair, I don't think I've always been like this. Maybe I have unresolved trauma, but I've been in therapy. I still occasionally, see a therapist, but I wasn't always
trauma.
like
You don't want anybody to look at your man.
I know trauma of just badly behaved people, because why do girls like this much? No, but see, this one's almost too much. You have to admit his own was. I mean, he's a fine boy.
Even me, I said no, Abby. I get it. I get it.
Fine boy. Fine boy.
I said I get it.
Just relax. You're not the finest man on earth. Relax. But anyway, CC.
Yes.
It's time.
For game.
Yes, that's a lie.
Yay.
CC, take it away.
Guys, this is our segment where we want you to interact with us. So you are going to thumbs up, thumbs down some of these myths that we are going to bust for you. Okay, some typical sayings or mindsets that us as a community we like to throw out there. If you agree with the statement, say, as in you don't believe that that's true, you have to say, sis, that's a lie, and do a thumbs up. If you do agree with it, put a thumbs down, and then we can unpack why you think that. Has everybody got it? Can I get some thumbs up in the chat? I can't see any thumbs up. I don't know if it's my phone. Yes, thank you, Sister Yinka. Thank you, Abby. My co-host, please. Chat fam. Thumbs up. Thumbs
I'm
up.
coming,
Thank
I'm
you,
coming, I'm coming.
Zeno. Thank you, Zeno.
Let me land.
Thank you, Ada. Thank you, guys. Perfect. So, Abby, run the first one. Let's see what it says.
Absolutely.
So, myth number 1: strong women do not need men. Are we agreeing or are we disagreeing? Sis, that's a lie.
Disagree. That's a lie.
Okay. Why is it a lie?
That's a lie.
Why is it a lie?
Because
Okay,
woman, whether you're
yes.
soft or hard, you need man now.
Yes, now we need to.
Waiting, whether you're hard
What's
or
up
soft.
with that?
Who's doing thumbs down? Are you disagreeing?
Zeno.
Zeno, are you saying you don't need a man? Strong women don't need men. Okay, Zeno, come on. You're calling and tell us why you think that.
No, Zeno is right now. Wait,
It's
strong
down.
women don't need a man. Yes, so no. Yes, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Thumbs down.
No. It's thumbs
That's
down.
a
It's
lie.
a lie. I think we're even getting confused ourselves.
Somebody said a lie from the deepest pit of hell. Good. Perfect.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, so thumbs down is the right react. Is the right react. Sister Marriott is saying thumbs up. Sister Marriott.
You're of all people.
Antagonist.
Antagonist is a different type.
You guys are getting confused. Even UB is confused. I know, me, I'm confused as well.
If you agree, thumbs up. If you disagree,
Okay.
thumbs
down.
Yes.
Are you getting it, guys? Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Classic Yoruba TV. Is that tossing?
Yeah, tossing.
Okay, perfect. Go. What's the next one? Honey babe, sorry, you were saying what's your reason for saying that's a lie?
I think just because you're strong doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be in a fulfilled relationship. So for me, being strong has got nothing to do with you deserving to be in a relationship. So far as I'm concerned, it's a myth. Every person, whether a man or a woman, deserves to be in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Agree. Next myth. Let's see. Oh, black women, we are too much. Sis, is that a lie or is that a truth?
Sis, that's
true.
That's true.
That's
it's too much.
But we're generalizing. Let's not do this. You know what UB does? Let's not generalize. It's a small minority. Let's not be doing generalizing, no, please.
Black woman syndrome.
Oh, you're bringing up that thing again. Some people are saying
yes, some people are saying no. Okay.
Really?
So Zeno said we can be all. That's true. Abby's indifferent. Chinye, you're not giving us an answer. You're just laughing. M. Jones says some women are just too much. Uncle Ben, you've not dropped your comment. What's your viewpoint?
Uncle Ben, we're waiting. You mean you're not confused?
No problem.
I don't believe him. I believe that he wants to say it. He's not confused. He doesn't want to scatter the table. He doesn't want to scatter the table.
Okay. Third one, Abby. Okay, guys. Black women are naturally strong. It's in our DNA.
No.
It's in our DNA.
It's a lie.
I don't subscribe to that because we are not aliens. We are not aliens. We are not superhuman.
So it's not in our DNA.
No, it's not. It's not. We're not a different. We didn't come from an alien planet that we're different to the other women that are not black women.
That
so no.
If I said it's in our DNA.
I just realized that people don't really understand the thumbs up system.
Okay, I think you need to explain it again, Cece or Abby.
Somebody said no, it's programming. Abby's saying thumbs down. No, she's saying it's true. They're getting it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so majority of us believe. From the thumbs up, I'm thinking that we're it's in our DNA.
No, it's not. It's been programmed.
Okay,
and
that one more
we
five
need to
said
unlearn. We need
it's inside
we need
her
to,
own DNA. Okay.
She said it's inside my own DNA.
yeah, but isn't the whole point of this program to say that
GMO.
I don't know. You know what I'm
No,
trying to say?
it's a lie, ladies. It's
It's
a
a
lie.
lie.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's a
it's
it's a
a
lie.
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 It's a
It's
lie
not in our
because
DNA.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
We're
in our
all
DNA.
humans. We all
Yeah,
bleed the same. We all
exactly.
hurt the same. We have our organs in the same place. Most of us, okay. So that is a lie. Black women are not naturally strong. I think it's programming, like somebody mentioned. It's just
Yeah,
one of these things that they've labeled on us to kind of lump the world's weight on
I
our
think
shoulders, which is unfair. So
I
no,
think the
it's a
word to
lie.
say is that it's, when you say kind of in our DNA, that means it's genetic. It's not genetic. It's generational because our grandmothers and our grandmothers before us instilled this hyper
It's just
independence.
environmental, isn't it? It's
Exactly.
it's how we've
Exactly.
been raised.
Yeah,
So yeah.
exactly.
Final one, fourth and final one, Abby. Yes, programming and conditioning. Absolutely right.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Cece, like what you said that time about being the first child and all of that
Mhm.
stuff. It's similar
Mhm.
to that with the DNA
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay.
Oh,
This is a good one. Uncle Ben. Therapy is for white people. Africans just need prayers.
Yeah.
What do we think, ladies?
That is a lie.
Lie.
Obviously.
Mm.
Who
I
said
mean, the
mm?
way who
Abby
said
said
that?
No, I'm agreeing. though.
Mhm.
From my point of view, you can pray, which is great, but there has to be action. So I think personally, prayer alone doesn't always help in some situations. So you have to be active. So maybe therapy does work, does break the cycle in some situations.
I love that Papi said Africans need therapy. Thank you, sir.
I think
Absolutely.
we're the ones
Who's
that need it the
happy?
most.
I have to
Honestly,
clap for you.
especially being
Brotherhood. One
Nigerian as
one
well.
Don Pedro for you. Adana said some Africans need therapy and deliverance. Absolutely.
I saw that one. I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that one.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's that. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I mean we all need therapy.
Thank you
The
very
two things work
much,
hand in hand.
guys.
So
Thanks for all your
Absolutely.
answers and all your emojis. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
they're gonna put a break.
I don't know how to. Sorry. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we have Sister Natu. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
trying
there.
to do. We have Sister Natu, who's one of us here, member of Real Fam, member of many fams, Real Fam, MOP,
For the fam.
Body
Fam,
farm
M5 Fam,
and
Obudo
fam.
Fam, all of the fams. That just tells you that Sister Natu is someone that always, always supports everybody. She's a member
Yes,
of
so
every fam that we're familiar with on here. So we're inviting her because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're inviting her to talk a little bit about her NGO that she runs. And at the moment, we're still trying to raise some money for some women that are in help in Nigeria. So I'm going to bring her onto the stage right now to speak to us about this. Hi, Sister Natsu. You're muted.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hey Natu.
Hi.
hi,
Hey,
sis.
Sister
Long
First
time.
Natu.
caller, our first caller.
You guys are doing
Yes, so our
amazing.
very first one. Yes.
Uncle Ben, this show is one of the best things that you have done on this platform, I have to say. I was just
Oh.
cracking up behind Marriott. You need to repent. You need Jesus, the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit.
So
Marriott is just
funny.
there causing trouble. But it was fun. I was just listening to you guys. I'm like, oh my God, this is so refreshing to hear. Especially
Thank
women in
you.
the Independence Women WhatsApp group. Sorry, I didn't wake up today. I work from home. I woke up very late, so I just get ready and just jump on my computer. So I'm showing you my authentic self, okay? So that if you see me on the road, you not tell me that you don't know me. I'm showing up in my authentic
You,
self.
Sister Nato, you look beautiful just the way
Yes,
you
so
are.
as
Fine,
Yeah.
always.
fine,
Don't
As
fine,
worry.
fine,
always.
You're verified. You're
As
verified.
uh,
always. Yes.
fine, fine, fine. So, okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I've been doing so far. So, in 2009, I know people that have been following me on social media. If you're not my The foundation page is NA_SH Foundation, Nash Foundation. So in 2009, I found out one of my aunties had breast cancer. So for me at that time, that was the first. I didn't know that there was already a history in the family. So what happened was that my auntie had a lump, and she had a lump taken out, and they did a biopsy, and they took it for histology, and then it came back malignant for those that are in the nurse medical field, which means that she has breast cancer. So the doctor told her, from what she told me, because we spoke a lot before she passed. She said the doctor told her that she needs to do a chemo, and then they will take out the breast. So first of all, my auntie was 46 at that time. I don't know what she needed the breast for. And she was like, no, they're not taking up her breast. And then she went for second opinion from non-medical people, people that are her friends. And there's one particular one that tagged me on Facebook last 2 weeks. I almost called her out because she didn't know I know what she did to my auntie. So they said, oh, we should go for herbal medication because all the people that we know that have gone to cut their breast, they didn't end up well. So my auntie got scared and she didn't go back to the hospital. So she started jumping from one herbalist to the next, one to the next, one to the next. And by the time we found out, how did I find out? She called me and asked me to buy CBD oil for her because she can't sleep. So I asked her what she needs CBD oil for, which is weed oil. And she said that her breast is paining her, and they told her that the CBD oil will make her sleep. And I still have the chat that I had with her, and I asked her, and I said, if you take the CBD oil, is it going to heal you or is it going to make you feel better at that time? She said it's going to help her sleep. So at the time we found that her breast was already the size of my head, and he had all these little lumps inside, and you could see all these little balls were showing already, ready to break out. So at that time, she was already at the stage 4 terminal case. There was nothing we could do. I found a way of hinting my family. One of my uncle went to see her, and he told the other because she told me not to tell anyone. So after her, we now found out that another auntie was going through the same thing, but her own case also was an early detection. So she went to the hospital, National Hospital Abuja. I'll call you out, and she told them about the lump, and they checked it, and they asked her, "Oh, does it hurt?" She said no. They said, since it doesn't hurt, maybe it could be maybe possible something is there or nothing, but we'll give you antibiotics. Now, don't come for me in the chat and tell me that how will hospital give her antibiotics? That is my auntie, that is my blood. I'm not asking you questions. I'm telling you what my family experienced because I know that I've had some live streams, I have some people that are questioning what I said. This is my family. I don't need to sugarcoat anything. So Auntie Esther died in February 2020. February, I think 19 or 18 was the immediately after Valentine. Auntie Tama died in October 2020, the same year. So she is my auntie's first cousin. This is my auntie, my mom's younger sister, the same mother, the same father. So after that happened, I started investigating, and I found out that one of my grand aunts that passed away 10 years ago at that time, she died from breast cancer because when I was posting, one of her daughters was like, and she knows that I was part of her mom. She was like, do you know that it was breast cancer that killed you, that killed your grandma? I'm like, hold on a second. So I went to ask my mom, and my mom said, okay, so now we have Auntie Esther, we have Auntie Tama, we have my grand aunt, Grandma Kogis, and then I found out one of my cousins through my mom's second cousin. She died of breast cancer. One of my mom's uncle's wife died of breast cancer. My grandfather's stepmom died of breast cancer. And I found out one of my sister-in-law on my father's side too died of breast cancer. That was where my whole so 7 at that time. So that was where my whole drive came from. And I'm like, something needs to be done. We need to create more awareness on this. So in 20, so when I was turning 40, one of the plans that I had for my life when I was turning 40, as I'm gonna have a photo shoot with my husband and my kids, blah blah blah. And then 40 came, there was no kids. So I wasn't happy about it. So when 41 was coming, I said I'm not gonna do photo shoot. I'm a Christian, Bible believing Christian. Whatever you believe in, that's fine. But I'm just telling you my encounter. And God said, I have a work for you. So if you're worried about taking picture with your children, don't worry, you go and work that will take your time. And I'm going to tell you, when I started this foundation, it took away anything thinking from my life. Thinking of, I don't even have time. Where do I have the time? So October 2023, I just went on my Facebook and I told my friends, I don't want no birthday gift. If you love me and you want to give me something for my birthday, just send me Zelle, Cash App, or to a Nigerian account. I want to sponsor 50 women to have a free mammogram. At that time, it was like around 25,000 naira. And my pastor let me talk about it in church. And in a day, I raised $1,000. That was where it started from. And that was when I told my cousin, get me somebody from CAC, register this foundation for me. And October 2023, we did 3 outreach in 3 different places. We did a total scan of 100 and something women, screening free, and then they went for mammogram, and we found out that 2 people have cancer. And one of the persons that had the breast cancer was a 20, I think she was either 24 or 20, I think she's 24, was a 24-year-old girl. But I want to tell you that out of those 2 people, 2 of them rejected treatment. They said that they're going to resort to their faith. I said, I'm joining my faith with your own. But for me, I played my own part and I'm not going to stop. February 2024, we went back again and we hit the number 180 in 2 days. We screened 180 women, and over 100 women went for mammogram and ultrasound. We ended up with 5 people that had breast cancer. Only 2 people agreed to go for treatment. 3 of them just absconded. They stopped picking our calls. One of the women died 2 months ago, and they went to resort to native medication. So one of the women, if you go to my Facebook, Instagram page, you're going to see a lady in pink. That lady, I saw her sitting, I don't even know her. And I said to her, okay, she came the first day, and she said she wants to see the doctor. I said, he's tired. We're done for today. Come back tomorrow. I didn't know that they were coming from a 4-hour journey. They didn't have anywhere to sleep. They slept outside the hospital on the bench. So the next day in the morning, I saw them and I was like, oh, you came early. And I was like, please see them because they were here yesterday. And I saw her still sitting in the afternoon. She was like, so I didn't know that her breast was already swollen. And our doctor said they're going to do a biopsy for her that day. She can't leave. And I started talking to her about my auntie, how my auntie cried. I showed her pictures. And I said, please, I'm not doing this for anything. I just want to create awareness. And I want people to understand that breast cancer is not a death sentence. And if you caught early, you have a chance to live. My aunties that were early detection, I wish they would still be here. But I'm sorry.
I'm so
So I
sorry.
said, I'm sorry. So because the reason why it's painful is because my auntie, that's my mom's younger sister, uh, she used to live with my mom before my mom left for the States. So in Africa, you know when you get married, they give you a little girl to stay with you, and that becomes like your first daughter. So in her family, she's like my mom's daughter, but she's also a younger sister. So if my auntie was alive, if I have kids now, my mom wouldn't come. That my auntie would be the one to come. They would be the one to come. And she always tells my mom, don't even think that because my name is Susie too, so she calls me Susanna. She's like, don't even think if Susanna gives birth, you're going to come, it's going to be me. And I'm like, of course. So every time I think about that, it's going to happen and she's not there, it hurts. But her own case was a problem of fear. It was an issue of societal myth and all these beliefs that does not work. So I started doing that and telling people, out of all my family members that died from breast cancer, my grand aunt and grandma Kogis is the only person that did not do traditional medication. So I tried to tell people when I went to Kano last year, and Hausa people have this very crazy belief of traditional medication. You can't tell Hausa people anything about traditional medication. But the problem with traditional medication of this one is that they don't have anything that they are measuring it with. You understand what I'm saying? You know, when you go to buy Tylenol, they'll say 500 mg, this mg, that mg. For all the ones that they're doing, it doesn't have anything like that. So the lady agreed for treatment. 2 of them vanished. One of them, the one that agreed for treatment, was pregnant. So by the time that we started her treatment, she had the baby. It has already progressed to stage 4, and she cried. So that other one is still alive. So in October last year, we went again, and it was groundbreaking. In October last year, we screened 1,078 women in 5 days. That was when the message started going out. And now people are beginning to call, when are you going to have the next one? Because what we realize is that a lot of people are dealing with this issue, but the stigma that they have in the society is depriving them of coming out or saying this is the problem that we have. And then when it get worse to the stage where they can't control, they go to the hospital. So now I'm taking upon myself. If you have to wait till it gets to that last stage to go to the hospital and you're looking for 25 million, now we 100,000 naira, or let's say we 40,000 naira, you can have free screen and free mammogram and ultrasound. If you have to go to biopsy, with 100,000 naira, we can do biopsy and histology if someone pays for it. So I said, you know what? I'm not a medical person. I have a cousin that's a medical doctor. I have nurses that want to volunteer their time with us. I will do the honors of going around and doing Babi Allah to beg for that money. And I tell people all the time, anywhere you need me to talk about this in anywhere, call me, I will go. And so I started talking to people about it. I think that and I started like reaching out to friends, like putting extra effort to see how we'll be able to reach out to these women. So for this year, so like right now, between now and next week, we're trying to see if we can raise $5,000 to be able to get a date and a space to do the screening and the mammogram for the people. And also, I just want to tell you that out of all this one that we're doing, one person was able to benefit to get a free mastectomy and free chemo. Another one started chemo, but she was late, and so she passed. So now people are beginning to understand that we don't need to hide anymore. We don't need to look for 25 million later anymore. Somebody wants to help us. So I think that we should also help ourselves. So people are beginning to open up. People are beginning to call. People are beginning to say, please, we need help. I don't understand my breast. I need it checked. Before, we don't have that. Sometimes even these house people will tell you that I don't want a male doctor to touch me or a male nurse to touch me. I have to be a female nurse. But now that they're seeing that, oh, this when I started, some people told me that it's too good to be true. That how will you do it for free? But it was an option that God gave me, and I have to do it. So now people understand that you don't have to pay anything. No, you just need to show up yourself there. That's all you need, and we'll take care of the rest for you. So we've been doing that, and when I want to keep doing it. So on Tuesday, next week Tuesday is going to be my birthday again. My birthday is in October, so that makes it like unique. So I'm also reaching out and soliciting to friends and family and everyone that I can reach to. I don't want anything for my birthday. I don't want no gift. I just want if you can reach to the GoFundMe link to the account, even if you can't pay for a complete person, whatever amount you can put, somebody else will put something that will make up to that will be able to reach more people.
Wow. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for all you do.
And I'm
That's
sorry I broke down. So I'm really sorry about that.
honestly, I think the one thing that I've seen a lot of stuff, and actually, if I when you went live on sis Omoyen's channel the other day, I couldn't watch. I thought I could. Please, I'm going to. I've left some details in the comments already, and I will leave some more details. Please, everyone, support as much as you can. I've said this before, it's also close to my heart because my mom passed from breast cancer. So please help and help women out there. It's a lot of women, like Sis Natu said, would go what they believe is the holistic way with all sorts of herbal medicine and all sorts of things. And honestly, it's not always the best way. So please support as much as you can. Thank you so much, Sis Natsu.
Abby, also to chime in, sorry. So okay, I think I counted 7 people for you. So while we finished last year's outreach, when we finished, I went to see one of my friends that's a medical doctor that has a private practice. And I saw one of my uncles outside. This is my mom's first cousin again. And he was like, oh, Auntie Hasana is inside. I said, okay. So I didn't see the doctor. So I just went to say hi to her and come on. When I went into the room, and let me tell you, the level that this thing goes, when it has reached that stage 3 or 4, if the smell is like the smell of a dead body. And if you're from the north, you know this incense that Hausa people use, this turare that we used to burn to make the room smell good. There's no amount of it that you put in a room that will kill that smell. So I don't saw my aunt, I greeted her, but I was feeling the smell, but I just couldn't conclude. So when I came out, I saw that my doctor friend. So I just said, oh, I just went to check in my aunt. I heard that she was here. So he didn't know that I didn't know that it was breast cancer. And then he now said, oh, another patient for you. I went home that day. I was pissed. I was pissed because I started this outreach a year ago and every family member is aware. But what happened to also this Auntie Hasana was that she was also an early detection. He asked her and then he gave her a date to come back for biopsy. She's a twin. And she said that she's not going to let. Oh, so the myth again that we have in the north is that cancer, if you have any surgery, on anything that is cancerous, is going to spread around your body. That's the belief that we have. So Auntie Asena's twin sister took her away from the doctor and refused a biopsy. But she took her to a herbal guy that used new razor blade to cut her breast and put concussion inside because he wants to kill the breast cancer. Now make this make sense.
Yeah.
Make this make sense. You didn't allow a doctor to do that, and then but you went to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the myth I'm trying to kill among our people, and to make them understand that whatever you're trying to do is not it. We have science that has a proven track record that we can lean towards. I have two people in my church. One person is a 25-year-old breast cancer survivor, and that person is a 10-year-old breast cancer survivor. So I use that to talk to people about it. So, and that my auntie now cried in November, making it 8 people from my side.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's actually sad. It's so frustrating as well when you're trying to help people and they can't really see, that medical is the best way. And I'm not here to knock down anybody on their beliefs, but please, let's be real. Anyway, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Sis Natu, for joining us.
Thank you for
Um,
having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you,
you
Sister
can
Thank you
Natu.
always
so
Thank you
stay
much,
so
on
sis.
much.
Thank
to
you.
contribute to the show, or you can also leave, up to you. In the
I
meantime,
am honored. Thank you so much.
Thank
no
you so
worries.
much, Sister Natu. Thank you.
In the meantime,
Thank
I
you.
have shared the link and I'm sharing it again in the comment section. So please come in if you have anything to add or any pushback, anything to add to the conversation today. Please click the link and join us. We have another 40 minutes to go for any questions. Anything that you want to push back on, anything you want to add to the conversation, please click the link and come up. Men are
Yes,
also
sir.
welcome, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you bees welcome.
Uncle Dio, all of
Yeah,
you.
Adding
Pappy.
a defender.
Pappy, Pappy, Pappy,
Yes.
Pappy. One now. Come, 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 please. Or you be, please. The men in the house, we want to hear from you,
And
please.
Sister Mario that's been throwing those jabs. The jabs, she should show up too.
Very true, Sister Yinka.
Sister Mario with the jabs. What's going on? Let's do this.
I don't think it's anybody here yet. Guys, are we that boring?
What was the question? What are we contributing to?
To the general, okay, Pappy wants to come in. To the general
Fantastic. Thank you,
um
Pappy. God
conversation,
bless you.
um the
I
general
can hear you.
conversation, which is the weight of strength, unpacking hyper independence in Black women. And if anyone has been listening, if there's anything they want to contribute, anything they feel like we've left out, or even any questions or pushback that anyone
You
may have.
know, I was saying in the comment section earlier, there's no award for superwoman. Do you understand? And we have seen a lot of our mothers like burnt out to the
Mm.
brim. And we think that, and you hear men saying, I've told young girls, any man that tell you I want to marry a woman like my mother, run, run, run. Because if you want to go and find out what has happened, you don't want to experience it. So I say it all the time, there's no award for a superwoman. If you need help, I feel like Sister Yoko said that sometimes like we just don't have patience. And I fall in
Yeah.
that category too. My patience is not plenty. My patience is very, very small. Sometimes I have to advise myself, talk to myself, say, not to just lie down and enjoy. Just lie down. But sometimes my body will be pinching me. Like, why is this here? Why is it like this? If you don't want to do it, I can do it myself. You know me, I like driving. Don't waste my time. Brrr. But sometimes you just have to like calm down, breathe, and be a baby girl small. Because honestly speaking, it doesn't help. Even at work too, sometimes you want to show. I've had that a couple of times at work where I broke down. So you have to choose yourself. If you choose yourself, and I say that's where the issue of self-awareness comes in, and that's where you know when to take a pause, when to take a break. One of my cousins right now is in Brazil, and I was speaking to her, and she said that no, that she has learned, and her body is on that automatic this thing that anytime she starts feeling like exhausted, she needs. She said sometimes she's in Abuja with her family. Oh, she'll take the weekend and go and do staycation in a hotel, like by herself. Like, please let me breathe. I don't want to hear, mommy, what are we eating today? How no? So right now, she said that she went to Brazil. Like she went without her work laptop. And her sister's like, you came without your laptop. She's like, no, I came for vacation. I didn't come to work. Anything that they are going to do and they can't solve it from not there, they should leave. When I come back, I'll do it. And let me share a quick experience before I yield. When I was working in Nigeria in UBA, I'm the like super workaholic of our office. But one day, at that time, transfer was not too common. So I told my brother to come collect money from me in the office. But so I used to have this thing, whatever is the time of the month, it used to hit me so bad I'll pass out. So I passed out and they took me to the hospital. My brother came 10 minutes after I passed out to collect the money and he saw someone on my desk. And he came to the hospital. He said, Auntie, I go and see person for your desk. I said, person for my desk. I thought I was the only person that can do that work. How is another person on my desk? No, 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 no. So that was my wake up call, like, you there, the work go continue. Calm down.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm telling you, so sometimes even at work, just because you want to get that credit, you want to do it all by yourself. No, please. Anytime you just say, who needs help? Me, please. So don't be, I know sometimes like our body has been like, our system has been programmed that way that we were raised that way that we don't ask for. But if you're listening to this, just start doing little by little. Just scream sometimes, I need help. Oh, who can help me do this here? I beg, even though you know you can do it. Raise your leg up small, sister. Drink water, chew ice. The world will not end. And let me tell you, if you think that you want to do it by yourself, if you have kids, you will cry and leave your children. And those children, their life will continue. Be thinking that, oh, my children cannot do without me. They can do without you. Don't deceive yourself. They can do. But God will help us, women, sha. And one super women WhatsApp group. Uncle
Thank
Ben,
you.
good evening.
Thank you so much, Sister Natu. Pappy,
Thank you, Sister
Uncle
Natu.
Dio.
Papi,
Uncle
greetings, sir.
D in the house. Uncle D in the house.
Una well
How are
done,
you?
no.
How are
Una
you,
well
ladies?
done, no.
Well
Hey,
done. No,
Papi.
Thank you, Pappy.
I just actually wanted to congratulate you, ladies. You brought it 100 as usual, and I'm so proud of you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy. I listened to everything, and what really gives me joy is the fact that all of you were in your right element. No camouflage, no mask. Everything was bare. So I love that. I wish I can be seeing much more of this, you know,
Thank
on all
you.
our shows because yeah, you just came out in your natural element, no pretense, nothing. You gave it raw, and I really appreciate that. God bless you all for that. Sister Natu, God bless you for your endeavors. In fact, I'm really touched. There's no way you can talk about breast cancer that you will not feel emotional. It is normal because this is a terminal sickness if not well taken care of. And from so many examples, we can see that ignorance sometimes is the root cause of death in terminal. In all these cancerous issues. But I pray as you are creating this awareness, many more people will get to know and they will get to like do the test and get treated earlier before it becomes cancerous and deadly. But I
Thank you, sir.
personally, I
Amen.
would like I will do my best in trying to like publicize and share the link to as many people as I can to at least let them be aware of the program that is coming up and as many people that can make themselves available for it, they will surely show up. Thank you for this initiative. God will continually bless you because it's a wonderful thing. It's not easy.
Amen,
And one
sir.
of the major reasons
Amen.
why people are running away from it also in Nigeria, we must not forget, the major reason is fear and poverty. Poverty. But if 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 only they can put aside that fear and can come out to be diagnosed to confirm whether what they're having is actually cancerous or not, that is the first step before they start the fear. Some people prefer that they don't that what if they go for the test and they were diagnosed and found out that it is cancer, they rather prefer not to know than for them to know and start living in the fear or maybe living with the fear. So all these things are there. But I believe with time, knowledge will reach out to everybody and can be able to make sound decisions concerning their life and concerning their health. God bless you, Sister Natu. As for the program tonight, ladies, I don't know. I'm not like Uncle Beno. I will have sent all of you Don Pedro, but I don't promise what I can't do. I can only promise you one thing. I'm going to publicize this show more than any other show that I've ever publicized. That's my promise to you,
Wow.
ladies.
Thank
Amen.
you
Well
so
done.
Thank you,
much.
Thank you very
sir.
much.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uncle.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe Uncle Dayo is throwing shade at me. Eh? I delivered Don Pedro. They not just they admit say they collect the Don Pedro Uncle Dayo. Ah,
Well, I did not get my Irish cream. Oh.
Exactly.
because
And
na Don Pedro I
somebody
promise, Auntie Yinka.
No,
No be
not
Irish
me. Yeah,
cream.
I don't drink that. I told you what I wanted now.
Auntie Yinka,
Your
na only Don
money.
Pedro,
Which
my
one do you
now
have?
with the supply for here.
Who got that Don Pedro? Please raise your hand.
Nobody. Can we give our
Sissy,
uncle
Sissy
Nobody.
get Don
uncle?
Pedro.
Can we
Nobody.
give our
And I
Zaddy?
was
He don't
checking
drink.
and I was checking my post every time. And anytime I see a delivery guy, I'm looking, where is this thing now? I'm disappointed.
Bego. Shout out to Uncle Emeka. Shout out to everybody. In fact, I think I don't retire now. I've retired from YouTube. It's better to listen to you Lee sisters every day, I swear. I enjoy the show. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm taking notes. Thank God for exposing yourself, everybody. God don't catch you now today.
Mhm.
At
What?
least you all admitted that hyper independent women are super controlling.
I did not admit it.
Yeah.
Though. Me, Abby, I never
You
admit.
We're in recovery.
We are
I
were in
alive.
never
Abby,
said.
recovery. Yeah.
Abby, I
We're in
know you can't
recovery.
agree right now. You
I
can't
can
agree right
never do
now.
such. How can I agree to such in public?
You are still in your Gen Z era. You can't agree.
She
Don't
said in
worry.
public. You just agreed to it. You just admitted.
God forbid. Can never be
So
me.
now I know we are dealing with women who got their thing 100% ongoing. But frankly speaking, anyway, I enjoy the show because at least you guys are honest. You bring it 100%. And the chat is even funnier. I don't know, saying that like this women feel
See,
you,
see, Uncle
honestly.
Ben. That's why I say in that chat, eh? Oh my gosh.
The chat is super fun. Everybody is
Mm.
just coming out of their hideout and be like, okay, me, I'm guilty of this, me, I'm guilty of that. But if now if it is a show where we, the brothers, are speaking out now, una no go agree. Why? I just want to understand why. Una no go agree. But now, as you be
Okay,
saying that
then.
women matter, women affairs, una admit, say it's true.
And
That
because
is
you guys like
me.
to use it
Actually,
against us sometimes.
Yeah, you rub it
Uncle
When
in
we
our
Ben
speak
said
the
he
face.
truth,
does
you
it
want to
like
use it
this.
against us now.
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
You like to rub it in our
okay.
face.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh,
since
yeah,
Uncle
Uncle Ben,
Emeka
please
is here,
relax
I will
now.
chill. I have just one question. And my question is about women and money. That is
Uh-uh.
where you guys started getting my attention. In fact, the moment I hear you people saying, even though with all this money we will not get, we not still want to collect my money. So I need to ask, what exactly is women problem? Tori Olom, you have
We don't have any
money, you still
problem
want
now.
our money.
We don't have any problem.
We
We
don't
don't
have
have
any
any
Daddy,
problem.
problem now.
That's my question. Now
Maybe
you,
you want us to be submissive. That's part of it now.
Lisa. Hmm?
to the bills,
Yes, now it's
it's
part of it
too
now.
much. Look,
Uncle Ben,
Sister
it's
Yinka,
cheaper when you spend somebody else's money. Have you not heard about
Abi.
that?
no, it's too much. You know, I said something here one time that any man
Mm-hmm.
who's married to a woman that she can actually take care of her own dressing, her
Mm-hmm.
makeup, her
Yeah.
accessories,
Mm-hmm.
shoes, all of those. The man should count himself lucky.
Yes.
Because you ladies, you spend fire. And till tomorrow, I can't understand it. For instance, it's like una no fit go 1 month, make una no buy one thing. Why? So, why is it that even though you have your money, you are a big baby, a big lady in your own right, you will still be on your man's neck? Say, hey, darling, I want something. I can't imagine one day how much my wife asked me, self. She was buying something. That thing was like maybe 200 and something dollar. And this woman asked me to come and add $40 to complete it. I
She
totally
ordinary
lost it.
$40,
Like,
Uncle Ben. You're
are
shouting
you
like this.
kidding me? You said what, Sanika?
I said ordinary $40. You're shouting like this. Why now? She didn't ask you for two. She didn't ask you for the whole money. She said $40.
Exactly.
What is my business with all those one that they buy? I don't get it. Well, thank you. That's my take. I enjoyed the show. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Uncle
Uncle
Ben.
Ben, you're going. Is he gone? Are you serious? He gone?
Okay.
He ran
I'm here.
away.
Oh. I'm just reading you.
I sent you that video earlier so that you can use your indoor voice. You did not use your indoor voice. Why?
Oh dear.
Exactly. He's now shouting. But you look
You
at how he was
shouting
calm
now because of
yesterday.
$40.
As in, because he was
Yes,
BVD
yes,
yesterday.
yes.
Baby boy Ben. Uncle
Can we
You know
usher?
the
Emeka.
Can
fun.
we usher our Uncle Emeka in? Zaddy, big spender.
Yes, sure.
Hey,
Let's
big
do that. Hello.
spender.
Uncle Emeka in the
Good
house.
evening. Well, good. What is it?
Hello,
Afternoon. Good
Good evening,
hello,
afternoon.
sir.
Good
hello,
Good
sis.
evening,
evening.
sir.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, sister Liz. um, First of all, I'll
Welcome,
start by
Saki.
saying congratulations.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm in my family meeting because we're always overshadowed by women. The ratio is 5-1. Sometimes when we are having a family meeting, I just sit down and listen, you know, because when the women has decided something, you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your time trying to fight them, you know. And I give you an example. My brother's 70th birthday is coming, and the women are handling everything, and all they ask you is just to show up. Don't try to give any advice. They know what is going on in the community.
Exactly.
So sometimes, you know, on this platform and also on the WhatsApp, it looks as if I'm biased when it comes to the ladies. And truth be told, yes, I am. You know, and this is based on experience. Um, to be a single father of a girl and raise her and, you know, trying to teach her everything, including the ones you know and the ones that you don't know. You defer to either your sister or your auntie. But the bottom line is that you are still living in the house with the girl child, you know, watching her grow, blossom, and be able to be a productive member of the society. I don't take those things for granted. And I always say, yes, it requires a lot of prayers and a lot of patience, but your reward is seeing them doing very well in the world, you know, and they're no longer a burden to you. So based on that premise, that's why I take the stand that I take when it comes to the ladies, you know. I'm proud to say that it was ladies that raised me, and I believe they raised me well, you know. So I don't make any apologies about it. It's too late to make any apologies anyway. Having said all that, congratulations to you all. This is so refreshing. I'm very,
Thank
very
you so
proud
much.
of
Thank
you
you, sir.
guys. And I hope this will continue. Let this not be just a flash in the pan. Let this continue. Everybody came with their own personal experience. I was listening, and I can tell that everybody, all four of you, all your experiences are different growing up as ladies. Those that are raised in the diaspora, like
Sure.
my prefect, Honey Babe, and
Thank you, sir.
and and then my stubborn second daughter there is okay. You know, they can throw stones at you. Don't worry. I wear body armor right behind you and in front of you, depending on where the stones are coming from. So, Abby, don't change, you know. And of course, Sisi, anybody messing with Sisi, I don't think you know what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly.
You're about to get run over.
Well said, sir. Well said. Well said. Fantastic.
And, so, everybody, look, I have Cece, I have Honey Babe, I have Abby. Who am I missing? Who's the fourth
Yinka's
lady?
Pepe.
Yinka,
Okay,
Yinka's Pepe.
Yinka was speaking. It took me a while to realize that it was Yinka that was. I thought it was one Igbo woman that was just talking. Yinka's Pepe. You know, thank you guys. I have nothing but, you know, good kudos to you guys. Thank you. God bless you all. And like I told Brother Ben in the background, the sisterlies deserve Don Pedro too, not just only the men. Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Uncle
sir, for all
Emeka.
your
We love
kind
you
words.
too. God bless you,
Thank you
sir.
for all your cards. Thank you for your kind words, sir. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
No problem. And Sister Natu, if you are still there, I'll call you, privately, so we can talk, because
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I have a lot of, like I said, I'm surrounded by women, and I have my own story too. So I'll call you privately and we'll talk.
All right, sir. No problem, sir.
Okay. All right. Bye.
She think
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Uncle Mika. Is she think I'm still here? I think she
I can't,
left.
I can't see Sue.
Okay,
I don't
she's
Just
see
come
her
back
back.
in.
anywhere.
I can't see her.
Okay, no
We
problem.
got
See.
Sue.
Yes,
Sue.
the Sue's here.
Hi, ladies.
Hey, sisters.
Hey. Hey,
Hey,
sis.
sis.
Wow, what a great show tonight. Very authentic. And I love the way you guys brought in the Niger accent. You just brought in the flavor. Honey, babe, I just love that with your British accent. And then you dropped in the Niger, and then Sister Yinka
Thank you
too, and
so
then
much.
Abby, and then Cece also brought in. That was just beautiful. I just love it. I think that just, they just brought in some flavor. I just love the authenticity of everybody bringing in their stories. And trust me, you guys, I had so many questions, but I know we don't have time, and I have to get dinner ready for the kids. But there's just one thing that I really wanted to ask. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, being this hyper independent woman in your workplaces, being a Black woman. Have you guys ever felt that pressure to like really do more or work more, like just being that Black woman, like in your workplace, especially being in the diaspora? Because I've really struggled with that. I'm in consulting, and I feel like there's just that pressure on me, like I really need to do so much, like I'm Black, and I just gotta get there, you know what I mean? So I'm pressured. I'm just being honest. I feel so much pressure. I don't know if you guys, any one of you has felt that kind of pressure.
Anyone want to chip in? Cece, Abby?
Okay, I'm here. Can I say something?
Yeah,
Go for
sure.
it. Go
Yeah,
for it.
sure.
Okay, first of all, ladies, I want to say what an amazing show. What a therapeutic show. And what such wonderful personal stories from you ladies, from all of you. Thank you so much for putting this together. You put it together masterfully. You delivered it so well, and I am super, 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 super proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm really,
Thank you,
really thrilled
sis.
to be part of this group
Yes.
of wonderful people. Okay, so first of all, I think I'd like to say something about was it Misty who just spoke about working in
Yes, Sue.
consulting?
No, Sue,
Okay.
sister Sue.
So
It was
Sue.
soon.
all right, all right. Yes, I completely identify with what she was talking about, because there's a saying that black some people say Black people, some people say Black women. I think it applies in both situations. Work twice as hard for half as much. And in my career, I've experienced situations where I had to prove myself. And no matter how hard I strove to prove myself, I wasn't there were certain jobs which you will not find on my LinkedIn, where in those situations I worked hard to prove myself and I still was not acknowledged. So I think there's a certain level, depending on the role, you will know better. There are places where you will need to work hard to prove yourself, but don't work too much. Don't make it a habit of working beyond, work hours. There are times when you need to literally tell yourself to step back and take it easy. But if you find that there's a constant demand for you to prove yourself, like you're being second guessed and doubted, and you're being challenged all the time, your credentials are being challenged all the time, that might not be a healthy work environment for you. And if you're to take the bold step to step away and look for something else, I'm a person of faith, and I honestly believe, because I've experienced it in my own career, that God will catch you. There are times when between 2020 and 2022, I quit 3 jobs, because in each of those situations, they were toxic.
Wow.
And miraculously, well, the first one, there was a long wait, but in the second one, I got a better job after that. And when I was being psychologically and racially abused there, I got a better job after that. And after that, I got a better job after that. You will not find those jobs on my CV, like I said, on my LinkedIn. So I'm not trying to blast any organization, but what I'm saying is that there are times when you will need to choose yourself. That choosing your sanity, choosing your well-being, knowing that as much as you need bills to live, you need you need to be alive to actually live. You don't want to have a breakdown before you know that you need to choose yourself, because you're in your job for more hours in your day than anywhere else.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. So now the
Right.
second thing I want to say is there was something that Abby touched on in one example where she said her dad taught her that she would need to find a way to be vulnerable in some of her friendships. You can't be the strong one all the time, the one that people are always coming to. And I think that as much as we are all from a background where we're taught to be strong and self-sufficient, I think now one of the things we need to relearn is raising our own children in ways where we teach them to be vulnerable, and that looks like different things. Sometimes it looks like your child is in a situation with a friend where the friend does them, something not nice. And sometimes we want your child to be the most Christian or the most well-behaved, and you want them to say sorry for things that weren't their fault. Now, there are situations where, you make peace when it's not your fault, but then there are situations where you allow your child to feel their feelings and allow your child to express themselves. I didn't like this. You teach your child to express what they didn't like. You teach your child to be able to hold their corner and being able to say, I'd like it better if you did XYZ. We were raised to be mute about our feelings and about our needs, and we need to raise a different generation of girls who are able to say, I like this, I don't like this, I like it better when you do this. And lastly, it would be so, so good if that independence and, ability to take on a village that we raise girls with, we start to raise boys with. Because if boys were raised with half as much of a sense of responsibility, now, not to say that many men aren't, because many men are taught to be super, independent, but they're not necessarily taught to be super caring. Many men are raised not to be vulnerable, but they're not taught to find the right people to be vulnerable to. So I understand that men have their own challenges, but I'm saying as women, we shouldn't limit. So now talking to everybody here anyways, we shouldn't limit that teaching of raising a child to be responsible for other people and other people's emotions to only girls. We need to do that to boys as well, because we equip them better for life that way. So fantastic show. Uncle Beno, God bless you for providing the platform for, like you said, with all your HR capabilities, allowing us to shine. And my sisters, much love and respect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Shiti.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, She.
Thank
It
you,
was
she
kind.
thinker.
Thank you.
Thank you. I beg, make una no verse. Make una no verse. I get one request. Can somebody please help me put Marriott for timeout? Marriott
Mario has
said,
been Uncle Ben in the comments today.
I know she's been on it
Been on
non-stop.
it today.
Yeah.
What did she
Marriott
say?
said, I received a complaint for just looking bored.
Oh,
Do you
Marius,
really
yes, I
At
received
work.
that kind of complaint as well.
Yes.
Someone said I wasn't talking enough at the meeting. I said, but hang on, I gave that
Really?
comment about that saved the company from that liability. And then they were
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God.
okay, I think you spoke then. Okay. And then I said, can you give me examples? They're like, going forward. I said, going forward, if you ever see me not talking enough, can you tell me when you think I'm not talking enough so you can tell me where I land in your talk meter?
The audacity.
Wow. Oh my God,
being
Thank you
Marriott.
so
black,
much.
being black
How
Yeah,
and
I
I
just
tire for
corporate
Marriott.
is difficult. It's
yeah, I
difficult.
Sorry,
just
Sister
Jesus,
Inka.
women, you guys are trying, honestly, you guys are really, really trying. I didn't know that there are loads of experiences that our ladies here have. And I'm still going to replay this thing, I swear, because I'm just enjoying every moment of it. But this one where Marion says she received a complaint for looking bored, it reminds me of one time when I was working at this nursing home, and these people, they like to put off fake smiles all the time. And for me, I don't know how to pretend. May God just help me. God, I beg. So I came to work. I was pissed. I was stressed. At that time, I was just starting my nursing career. I was still drive by a little bit, sleep, and then go to work. So I came to work and I wasn't happy that day. And they were having this meeting, staff meeting. I just sat there and I was just looking. You know, when they say somebody had a, is it poker face or what do you call it?
Yeah,
Like when
poker
you are
face.
not expressing anything. The
Resting,
meeting,
resting bitch
my,
face.
Resting bitch face.
ah,
Resting
my
bitch face, Uncle
dear,
Ben.
Resting.
what did they call it? Resting face.
Resting bitch face.
Ah, no, I never heard that one before. I know the same thing.
That
I've
What
is
not
happened
heard it
was
funny.
that
either.
Mm.
I was at the meeting, I was just listening, and then after the meeting, my DON came and say, Ben, can I see you in my office? And then I went to her office and she said, oh, you know, Ben, we have to show spirit of, you say spirit of teamwork or whatever crap she said that day. And I'm like, did I did anything, man? He said, you know, the way you were sitting, you are looking kind of aggressive. The moment
Oh
I hear
God.
aggressive, my brain go
Uh-uh.
down, down, down. This woman won't fire me. At least I didn't say anything. So
Wow.
when I saw Marat make that comment, it just brought back that memory of how can you just look at somebody and say they look bored? Anyway, thank you for having me with my sisters. I'm still listening. She thinker. Thank you. At least now, oh God, how do we beat this record now? I need to go and talk to Chucky and the rest of the brothers because I don't think we can beat this only one show now. Now don't show me say we know if we beat you now. But man, I know what we will walk around this anyhow. Man, I continue, man, I know verse.
Thank you, Uncle Ben.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Uncle
much,
Ben. We
Ruby.
appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. Does anyone have anything else to say?
I think I'll just
Yeah.
chip in quickly.
Have it real quick
Um.
before Sissy,
Okay.
please. Just
Hmm?
real quick before I go. So I think when Shitinka was talking and she was saying something about was it Shitinka also saying something about being that one person that wants to show up for everybody.
Mm.
So I used to be that person. You know, when I first moved to America, my twin sister, you know, you have friends, I know you're here, everybody calling you. Every time you get your paycheck, they try to do something for someone. It's like they have one mirror that they are monitoring how much money comes into your account and they are making requests before you know it, you are empty. So this year we did a lot of financial stuff with my husband that like drained me a little bit. And this year I decided to choose myself. I don't know, people will call me names, people call me wicked, some people call me stingy just because I choose myself. And I did not know that saying no was very refreshing and we can still be friends. So somebody asked me for something that's like quite large, and I just said to the person, you know, honestly, I don't have money now. The normal me before would look for money. I can even borrow to solve the person's problem and pay later. But I
Mm.
just say, you know, I don't have money now, but if I have, if you anything show, I will show your side. And you know, 2 days later, me and the person were chatting normal about something. I don't sat down and I asked myself, so you mean if I say no, we can still be friends? I didn't know that. It was so
Mm.
refreshing to know because I was that one person that always wants to be there for everybody. And when it's my turn, nobody wants to show up for me. But this year I decided to choose myself. The fake people were dropping out, the real people were still there. And I still get to know that, oh, more come on, this life now one. So if anybody that's listening that is like me, that always wants to be the superwoman for everybody, I just want to encourage you that at least for 1 month or 1 week, choose yourself. Do something for yourself. You know, just say no. Oh, can you come to my party? I will not be able to make it. You know how many I should get a job this year? I knew I will not even make it. So I just wanted to buy to make the person feel happy. I just said no, and we're still cool. So please, just like no is a complete sentence. No is not going to end any friendship. If it ends it, know that it's not meant to be. But please, my sisters, learn to choose yourself. We're doing too much for people that we're not supposed to. We're overdoing some things. And I fall in that WhatsApp group. I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm just saying. So that's my observation from 2025 and my biggest lesson of 2025. Have a
Thank
good night, my
you.
sisters. Thank
Good
Thank
you.
you
night,
so much, Sister Natu, for calling
everybody.
Thank
in.
you for
Good
those words.
night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to say something real quick
Go
about,
for it.
what Sister Sue had mentioned about her workplace and all. And I
Yeah.
wanted to say that as women, especially Black women, we get so comfortable sometimes in a place thinking that maybe we'll not be able to get something better than that. And so we stay
Mm,
and take the bare minimum and whatever they dish out. Remember, I think I mentioned in one of the live streams where I said one of my my boss at the time actually came to me and told me that I looked angry at the desk that I was sitting at, and advised that I ended up having to get a mirror and I to train my face. Now, normally, I won't lie to you, it's true. My face, when I'm focused on my work, I don't see anything. Like, I don't see, the house may be falling on the other side. I don't see anything. Like, I'm like driven. I'm right into, and my face changes. You can tell that's why I don't know how to fake things, because you can easily read my face. So if I'm upset with you, I'm not going to pretend. I don't know how to sugarcoat anything. Rather than sugarcoat, I would not talk at all. So of course, she could read that in my face, and then she told me about, and she's Caucasian, so she advised me about getting a mirror, and that may help. Now, at first, when she told me that, I kind of felt offended when she told me, but really, when I really sat down, how sometimes you sit down like, okay, let me just forget about what she said, and really forget about who said it, but really think about what she said. And I knew that I had to do adjustments because I've heard it a couple of times. Now, that's different from actually doing a lot of work somewhere and you feel like you're not being recognized for your job, or they're talking down at you. If you feel like you're somewhere and you're doing everything that you can, and it seems like you're not recognized for the work that you've done, my sister, or whatever sister is listening right now, it means it's time for you to get that resume, dust it off, and start looking elsewhere. Let's stop getting comfortable sitting in a place where we feel like we have to continue to do a lot to try to meet expectations, especially when you're doing the work. There's a difference in doing the work, right? Or just doing the bare minimum. You're pushing and you're doing everything that you can. And if you're not recognized for the work, for the good work that you're doing, let's not get comfortable thinking that we don't deserve better, because you will be surprised when you step out of your comfort zone how much better you can get out there. Just because, they think you're comfortable where you are does not mean it's the best place for you. So let's just keep that in mind. But know that regardless of wherever you go, anyway, there's always going to be an issue. But as time goes on, you'll find your own place and you'll find your own tribe. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, can I just interject there and say that sorry, is that right for me to speak?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just wanted to just piggyback from what Sister Yinka said. That's very true. I mean, I've had situations, especially working in the corporate world, and a lot of the companies haven't been very diverse. I mean, I've been lucky. I've worked for a lot of American companies where there's been quite a lot of diversity, but I've been in a lot of British, very kind of like boys network kind of companies where I'm literally the only Black woman on the whole floor. So navigating that, but I definitely agree with what Sister Yinka said. I've had situations where I've contracted and I'm like, after a week, I'm not even entertaining this and I've left. Now, this is me having a mortgage, but I've been faithful and very positive in that I know that I'm good at what I do and I have a very good resume. So I've been confident enough, and I've actually had situations where I've left the job and then 2 days later I've started another role. So you have to be confident in yourself to know your worth, to know that, listen, I'm not going to tolerate BS. I'm not going to tolerate just because of the fact that, yes, I have bills, I have the pressure of being, the breadwinner, if and there's bills to be paid, to know that it's time. Because I've seen people that have said, okay, I'll leave it until I've remortgaged. Okay, I'll leave it for a couple more years. And it gets worse. It hardly ever gets better if you're in a toxic environment. So I think I would implore anyone, and I'm not telling you to leave, but really think about your worth and know that when one door opens and when one door closes, another door opens. And I always tell people that there's other jobs out there. I know it sounds very flippant, but there really is. And I've been in situations where I've left the job, got a mortgage to pay probably in a week's time, and I found another job. And I know obviously you have to be intentional and plan your route, but I always say, please, please, please don't allow a toxic environment to dictate you, because it will affect you in other ways. And you'll eventually, it will affect you in terms of I have people that literally will be having an anxiety attack just getting on the train because of how toxic their workplace is. I've seen it in friends. There was a lady that resigned from a role that I left 2 years ago, and she was crying to me that, honey, babe, I have to leave. And I said, well, you should have done this years ago. But she finally made the choice when literally she was signed off work for almost 7 months because she just couldn't take it. So it's really important to put your mental health first and don't allow yourself to be in toxic situations when it comes to work. There's always other roles out there. Thank you.
Thank you, honey babe.
Thank you,
Zeno
Annabelle.
is on the stage.
Hey,
Zeno,
Zeno.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Zeno.
Hi, I just wanted to say great job. You guys did amazing.
Thank you so much.
That's it.
thank you,
Thank you
Zeno.
from you.
Zeno, is that all?
Tina, we're expecting more.
Sorry, that's it. Also, too, I think I just was thinking about for like the ladies that live in that diaspora. It might just be me, but also I think we need to stop acting from a place of fear or I don't know if this happens in Nigeria. I'm only speaking from my experience of thinking that everybody's out to get you because you're different, so you try to overprove yourself. So just be cautious of that too.
Absolutely.
I agree. And I was actually coming in to say that from obviously I work in HR, so I see things from two sides of the coin. And I've always worked in corporate environments, mainly tech. And they tend to be a lot of white men, middle-aged white men, men in general. And I always have been the only black woman in the corporate, if not in the corporation, in my team always. And I've always worked in a multilingual kind of global team. So that has it. I think sometimes when you're in that type of environment, just like what Zena said, sometimes you may feel like, oh, okay, people are out to get me. I think it's just because you're hyper visible, if that's the word. I think that's the word, right? Because you're the only person, you literally stand out like a sore thumb. So when you feel like everybody's looking at you, you feel you're under more scrutiny a lot of the time, when actually people are just kind of getting on with their jobs. I know it's easy to say that. There are people, obviously, microaggressions and, things that happen, and we do a lot of code switching. A lot of people do that. But I think if you look for a company that has a culture in terms of it's diverse, they have a really good inclusion, they have a good culture just generally, and even from the leaders down, right? It will tell you the type of industry that you're getting in. Obviously, some industries are more male dominated than others, so it will be difficult. But I think if you show up as your authentic self, I think that's always key. Don't allow the job or your colleagues to dictate who you should be or who you should show up as. Show up as yourself, just your professional self. Do your job the best you can, and the rest will kind of follow, and if needed, follow the correct procedures to put things in place to protect yourself and to report things that you feel are not right, or things that are happening against you that shouldn't be happening against you. So I'd say that's my thing. Definitely show up, be your authentic self. You don't need to change obviously there's a professional tone when you're in work, and there's obviously a more chilled tone that you have maybe with colleagues that you're a little bit, but just be mindful, it's a professional environment, right? So I don't believe in code switching. I feel like show up as you are with the little tweaks of professionalism. The people will like you or they'll not like you. That's just what it is. But pretending to be something that you're not, I think, is too much pressure on top of your normal 9 to 5 or whatever type of job that you're doing. It's not worth it.
Too much.
Yeah.
Can I answer Uncle Emeka's question real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So first, an example. I was in college. I was interning at a company that I thought I wanted to work for. But I knew without a doubt that it wasn't going to work just because of the community. But I also knew I needed a job when I graduated. So I started interviewing while I was still working there, and this is probably wrong, but I was stringing them along. They gave me a job offer for after graduation. I knew I didn't want it, but I used that job offer to go leverage where I wanted to work. So in my opinion, I think one, if you have savings where you think you can cover you for a certain amount of time, absolutely quit if you can't take it. But I think there's a lot of planning that goes into living from one job to another, because also too, what some companies would do is look at how long you were in a previous job to see if you're just hopping around or if you're a good investment. So you also want to make sure you're thinking about all of that too, and you don't put yourself in a bind because you got mad. Not saying your feelings are not valid, but at the same time, like, responsibilities are a thing too.
I agree.
I
I
wanted,
agree.
I
I
would
wanted.
say don't cut off
So
your nose. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Meaning, if you can be in the role. Obviously, if it's detrimental to your mental health, your well-being, you feel like you're unable to get out of bed, you have a very toxic work environment, use the resources that are available to you. If that's not conducive, then yeah, okay, leave. But to me, I wouldn't advise in this current job market. Jobs are scarce, and I'm not coming from a scarcity mindset. That is just the reality of the working world as it is. Things are super competitive, so you being in a job and being flippant, oh, I don't like my manager, or this is happening, or that's happening, you need to be really mindful that you may come out of that job, but you may not be employed for the next 6 months. If you are able to back yourself financially, and that's a risk that you're willing to take, absolutely go for it. But if it's something that you can strategize, I would always say strategize. Start interviewing, get your profile, get your CV, start doing the courses that are available that maybe can give you that edge in the job market, and start looking for roles, through referrals, recommendations. Activate your LinkedIn. You can activate LinkedIn to have recruiters contact you, which is not visible to your employer and people outside, and set yourself up so that you leave on your terms, not on your employee, on your employer's term, basically. And you're left, and you leave when you are able to walk. I mean, you leave on a good terms in terms of financially, it's not going to put you in a tight space. And also, like Zeno said, having gaps in your CV, it won't look good for you depending on the type of role that you're going for. So just what I think, leave strategically. Don't do everything just because of emotions. Plan your exit and then leave when you're ready to.
I'm going to push back a bit because I think it really depends on the situation, because there's situations where you don't really give a damn about the paycheck. You need to get out because of your mental health. And I think in that case, I think there's no strategy. You just have to do what you have to do, whether it's you go and get sick leave and you get signed off. And then when you're in a better headspace, you can now decide that I'm going to resign and do the necessary, give them necessary notice. I've seen many people that have not strategized and basically just left, which probably wasn't a good idea, because they, 12 months down the line, they haven't found a job. But there's other side of it where I think you should definitely plan it. But I think it's on a case by case basis. I've been in situations where I was in a role, I worked for the council. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest job. And literally, I didn't like it. I was actually ill. I was ill and I was off for a couple of weeks. You know what I did? I was on LinkedIn applying for jobs. And the joke, if it was, I was still on sick leave and I already started contracting with someone else. So I'm always kind of like, because I was always contracting, it was very easy for me to go from one job to another. So in some situations when you're contracting, as long as you're explaining the interview, the reason why I've got 20 different jobs is because I'm contracting and the next role I'm looking for is a contract role, they don't necessarily care. If you're looking for a permanent role, then yeah, there maybe will be saying, why are you jumping from role to role? But I definitely agree with you, in this current climate, you should be very aware of the fact that if you jump out of a job, you could be waiting. My friend left in March and she's still looking for a job in the same company that I was in 2 years ago. She's still looking for another job. So I think you need to do the necessary maths of I don't know how many times for your kind of safety net when it comes to money. You need to obviously calculate 6, 7 months or even 8 months of all your bills and your mortgage to make sure that it covers you. And everything I will say is volunteer work. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but I know that the role that I have a part-time role while I'm doing this property thing, I got that through volunteering. I was helping a lot of people in terms of like helping them with their digital skills. So I think that's a good thing to do. If you want to refresh your skills, do some volunteering, because most of the time, a lot of them will actually want, maybe necessarily there could be a role. They think of you because you've done volunteering, and that is a way to get into the application and interview process. So I would definitely say skill up. Definitely do a lot of these online courses. If necessary, do the necessary certifications. But at the same time, I would also say that doing some volunteer work, because that really helped me, because I was obviously going from a corporate role into something local, part-time, remote, while I'm doing my property stuff. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Honey Babe. Well, thank you, I guess, everybody, for showing up, contributing to the topic, and just supporting us. We really, really appreciate. Want to say thank you to Zadie, who was one of our super chatters this evening. We really, really appreciate you, Zaddy. We don't call you Zaddy for nothing. Retired but not tired, and that's on period. Uncle Beno as well. Thank you for supporting us. We're waiting for our Don Pedro, Bailey's, and I think somebody's owed $50 from what I remember. And Zeno, thank you so much for always being an amazing friend to me. Love you. And that Chucky, thank you. This was a surprise. I'm joking, but thank you very much, sir, for coming through for us. But yeah, so that is pretty much it, I guess, for the rest of the show. I'm going to invite everybody. 1 second. Oh my God,
Oh,
Sister
sorry.
Natu. Thank you so much. Sister Natu just sent us $10. Oh my God, we're rich ladies. We're going shopping. We're going to
Thank
Bora
you.
Bora,
Yes.
Hawaii.
Thank you, Sister Natu.
No,
Much
Bora Bora.
appreciated.
Hello.
Where's Bora?
What is with
Sissy,
you
where's
in Bora
Bora Bora?
Bora? What's there?
Where is Bora Bora? I'm not being bad. Where is it?
One of the most exclusive
Where is
islands.
it?
Yeah,
Whereabouts is it? Sorry,
Bora
from where?
Bora.
Where's the nearest land?
Indian Ocean.
Really? Okay, thank you. I'm
Nice.
being
Okay, now.
educated in geography.
We have a
Something like
member that
that.
will take us to Bora Bora. French
Anyway.
Polynesia. French
Okay, by the time
Polynesia.
we do shows throughout the year,
Okay,
our
thanks,
money will
Susie.
be
Will be
complete
set.
for our trip,
Yes.
and we move expensive resorts and everything. If it's not expensive, we don't want it. Period.
We don't want it.
Yes, yes,
We
We're
can't
not
have
cheap.
soft life in our midst and not live soft life. I beg.
exactly. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
What you mean?
Future Mrs.
I,
Okonkwo.
I
Future,
second that.
where's D? Where's D? Future Mrs. Okonkwo speaking. Anyway, incoming. Anyway, we wanted to invite you to our next show, which is next Thursday. And the topic, as you can see on the screen, is Beyond the Slogan. Who really protects Black women? This my what's it called, apprentice job. I don't know how to make this big. But anyway, so yeah, we're back at it next week, Thursday, 16, same time, 3:30 p.m. EST, 8:30 p.m. BST. Please show up and support us. And we would also be bringing people in much earlier so that the conversation flows accordingly. Of course, this was our first show, so we had to test things out here and there. So forgive us for any imperfections. We're only learning. So yeah. Ladies, do we have anything else to say? We've done almost 3 hours, 2 hours and
Is
41.
it? I thought we were on
Wow.
track.
I didn't
Damn.
even
Well,
know.
we
Wow.
want to continue just now. Yeah.
Wow. We've
Wow.
done really well. And I just want to thank everyone for showing up, everyone for sharing, everyone that came on the live, everyone that commented.
Oh my
Really appreciate it.
Another one. Wow.
Oh, wow. Guys, what's happening, man? My body, they vibrate.
I hope we're gonna keep.
Yeah.
I hope we're gonna keep this energy every time we come on.
Yes.
By the way,
Exactly.
As we mentioned
Thank you very
Exactly.
much. Still
Thank you so
Still
much.
84.
Still 84.
Does
Thank you
anybody
so
know
much.
who
Euros.
this is? I
I
don't know
don't
who
even
this
know
is.
who this. Yeah, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate
And thank you for supporting us. It's been a real pleasure. And yeah, what do you think of our first debut? What do you think, guys? Put it in the comment section. Really appreciate all your support. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, any feedback would be nice so we can make any adjustments to make it more entertaining for everybody. Would love to have that. Any of our VIPs as well, feel free to leave it on the backstage if you prefer. Thank you so much. Ladies.
We have been your hosts signing out.
Yeah, I'm going to go on and
okay, so yeah.
Ads.
This
ahead.
is Honey Babe, Yinka Pepe, Cece and Abby signing off.
Thank you, ladies. Good
Thank
night.
you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Uncle Mecca. So we have a few businesses that we support. These people support us all the time. So we just thought it would be a good idea to put some of these businesses at the end of every show. I think it's also, I would also like to put it out there for anyone that has a business that they would like us to talk about here and there, please send it to us. And we would be happy to add it to our show at the end of every show. This is that mom of five. She also has a YouTube channel here. She goes by Wemimo as well, but her YouTube channel is that mom of five. She has a small candle business, and she tends to have a lot to do around Christmas time. So check her out through her social media, which is that mom of five across all platforms and also YouTube. This is the poster for her Christmas shop. She has a market. She's going to a market store in Glasgow. She lives in Scotland, in Glasgow. So if anyone is close to there or can support her, please reach out to her for more details. Thank you very much. We also have our very own Auntie B. If you don't know Auntie,
Guys, this is your girl.
I don't know who you know. I don't know who you know. But this is Auntie B. As we know, Auntie B had a book come out, what, how many weeks ago now? A couple weeks ago. So this is just her speaking about her book.
Thank you so much for your support. Imported Wives. In case you've not heard, we have a book. We have written a book, and it's titled Imported Wives, The Untold Story of Abroad Marriages. It will really mean a great deal for me if you can get a copy of this book. If I've impacted you in any way, shape, and form, 8 years I've been on YouTube, you've learned anything about relationships, about life in general, about finances, about living in the abroad, about retirement, about anything on this platform. If this platform has blessed you in any way, and you say, Auntie B, I love you, this is the way that you can show that love. You know, the Bible says that for God so loved the world that he gave. So when you love someone, you give to them. So the way you can show your love and demonstrate your love, because love is an action word, you need to demonstrate it, is by going to Amazon and getting a copy of Imported Wives. Please, is on Kindle, which is the electronic version, is on paperback, and is also on hardback. If you've gotten yours, take a picture, send to me, leave me a review on Amazon. I really appreciate everybody that supported me with this project. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I pray that Jehovah God will bless your pocket. It's only £20 or 19.99. The Kindle is 9.99, depending on where you are in the UK. Canada is Amazon everywhere. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Joshua Onibajel. I appreciate you, Budu fam. God bless you.
Okay, so please support Auntie B. Make sure you buy her book. I think all of the links will be dropped in the chat. So click on the links. It will take you directly to all of these businesses. And then the next business as well is Sister Natsu. She has a store where she sells a lot of designer dupe perfume oils. So please support her. Here's the site. It's called Qualisa.inc. You can find her on Instagram as well. You can hit her up. The same Sister Natsu that we all know here that spoke about her cancer, the cancer NGO. So please reach out to her. That is the website there, qualisainc.us. Please support all of these, our favorite people, as they support us as well. The next business that we have as well in the house is our own very own hosts. We have Honey Babe. As you guys know, Honey Babe is the property real estate guru. Here is her details as well. As you can see, it's called the Property Table Limited. This is all the information that you need. The Instagram, as you can see, it's Property Table 2024. Go follow her, go support her, ask any questions. Same with the Facebook, across all platforms as well. Ensure that you support her. Reach out to her if you need anything. Right? We have TikTok and YouTube as well. Thank you. And then Honey Babe, of course, also has Honey Babe also, as you know, has a YouTube channel. If I can just find that. Okay, I don't think I have it open. Okay, so Honey Babe is the rebuild blueprint. Honey Babe, did I say that right? Because you know everybody, there's a
Yes. Mama Five kept getting it wrong. she kept getting it wrong, but thank you. Yeah, it's correct. Mama Five, no vex.
okay.
It's just all in jest. But yeah, the rebuild blueprint.
Also, the
Thank you
link
so
will
much,
also be
Abby.
in the link will also be there in the chat as well. Is the rebuild blueprint. So I thought I had that open at the time, but apparently not.
Thanks.
Anyway, and then we also have, I'll do better next time, guys. Bear with me. We also have our very own Auntie Yinkus Pepe.
You're doing well.
Thank
Well
you.
done, well done, well done, Mama.
So this is Auntie Yinkus's fashion. She has a ready-to-wear brand. I'm sure if you've been here long enough, you would know that she has a ready-to-wear brand here, and it's called Sarah Logie. I love that name so much. And you guys, this model is actually Auntie Yinkus.
Oh God.
She's like, yeah, no, she's not eating. She's not eating, in case you were wondering. But yeah, this is Sarah Logie. As you can see, affordable, beautiful, and elegant pieces by our very own Auntie Yinkus Pepe. Same name on Instagram as well and across all platforms. So please support Auntie Yinkus. Auntie Yinkus also has a YouTube channel as well. So that is Yinkus Pepe Talks on YouTube. So please support her. All of the links again are in the comment section. So please support her as much as you can. She also has a care, I think, what's it called? A care home,
Yeah, a caregiving business.
a
So.
caregiving business. Yeah, as you can see on the screen right now. It's called Giving Care Angels. Please reach out if you this is a service that you need for any of your um older relatives. As you can see, that's all of the details there. Thank you very much. And what else is there? Yeah. And Yinkus is also Yinkus Pepe on Instagram. She's Yinkus Pepe Talks on Instagram as well. So please give everybody a follow, share this video, like, subscribe, and come back next week, same time, to support us. I'll put the poster up again. That is it. Beyond the slogan, Who Really Protects Black Women? Hosted by your very own Yinkus Pepe, Honey Babe, Sissy, and Abby. Next week, Thursday, October 16th, same time, 3:30 p.m. EST and 8:30 p.m. BST. That's it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for turning up. Really appreciate it, guys. And ladies, how do you feel?